video, so I guess we're just raw dogging it now. Oh, there we
That's
go.
fine. You're streaming. You're going.
Are we live?
We're live. Let's go.
This is not yet.
First of all, you have the dopest studio. Like, do you see this? It's just an open room with a chair.
I know.
Look at what you got going on behind you. You have a whole studio.
I know, but where's your setup? You're just waiting to reset it up?
Yeah, I have to reset it up now. I have to do a whole cool thing, but mine doesn't never gonna look as good as yours.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, but your TV is like 3D, 4D. I don't know how you did that.
Isn't that cool?
That is really dope. I love that.
That I got from a tattoo shop, and then it was like a real life TV, and then this guy just gutted it for me, and I was like, okay.
It looks amazing. I love it. I love the setup. The chair, you have the vibe. That's what you have to nail, is the vibe.
Cozy.
Yeah.
You got to make sure people feel like they're cozy here. Hi, Emmy.
Emmy, she's been waiting for this moment.
Emmy, the lady that has to take all the credit for Colbs and I being besties.
Yes, literally.
Because she introduced us at CrimeCon last year.
Yes.
Oh, I am.
I was going home.
Hear me delayed in there. Yeah. We have Sienna here for all of my emotional support.
I think we need it. I need an emotional support too. This is hard.
You can see my ass? Mine. Oh. Okay. Oh my God. Hi, everybody. I'm seeing so many names that I'm like, Colbs, these are you. This is all Colby Love, which I love to see.
We have some amazing people that are super supportive. I know a lot of people from when we talked, when you came on the channel, loved your channel and went over to you too. So I was like, that's just a beautiful thing.
I love when people asked me about it, about you at CrimeCon. That was like, I got that quite a bit. I was telling you when I came back about that.
Yeah. You got to tell me a little bit about how CrimeCon was, but you don't have to spill the tea if you don't want to. I know there's always tea though.
Oh, there's always tea. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a really important question in the chat right now. I have to answer it. It says, do you like Grease 1 or 2? And it says, Sherilyn, do you like Grease 1 or 2? It's a serious question. It is a serious question. And I like Grease 1.
Oh, man. We're so close. I just made a whole video about the differences between the two. And it's going to go on my other pop culture channel that I have because it's such a big debate amongst our community. They get so mad at me.
Really?
But a lot of people haven't even seen the second one. I said, listen, I'm not trying to take away from what one does, but the story, if you compare the storylines, I don't want to spoil it. That's I have a preference. I'll just say 2 is my favorite.
But I don't remember it as clearly, I think only because I've seen Grease 1 so many times. Exactly. So I don't really know, I don't know to compare this. Okay, so now I'm going to go in. We have to re-ask the next time we do this, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm going to go in it with a different lens.
They won't even watch 2. They're talking garbage, and they won't even watch 2.
Michelle Pfeiffer is a babe.
Thank you.
Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer is if you're going to talk about the main gal in it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, they just give me so much crap about it. I can't get a break. They just say, oh, Grease 1's so much better. It's not even funny. I'm like, well, just watch them both.
Don't take off your better.
Take off your blinders from your nostalgia and watch them both back to back and tell me overall which one makes more sense to you. And then I'm just going to say it. They fly away in a car at the end. How can you rock with that? There's no logic to that. And everybody has to make up a reason why that happens.
Yeah, see, I have seen that. Isn't it some conspiracy theories that they're saying at the beginning she actually drowned or something like that?
Yes.
And then that was all.
But guess what? For you to make sense of them flying away, you have to make up a reason why they fly away. They don't tell you in the story. Right. You have to be like, oh, maybe she is in a coma, or maybe they both died and they flew away together. And it's like, you're making it up as you say it. That's the point. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Okay, I'm gonna go into it. Don't worry, guys. I'm not gonna entertain this just for Colbs, but I do feel I need to go in with a different lens now. Okay.
You do. You do.
No, you're not very late. Don't worry. We just got on because I couldn't get my mic working. So you guys are all good. We haven't even really started. We're just chatting right now and hanging out, which is my favorite thing to do.
I'll tell you what.
Michelle Pfeiffer's a national treasure. Yes, she is.
She's the best. It's not even anyway. I could go on and on. I could pull up my points. I have a whole PowerPoint ready for people who wants to talk
about Michelle Pfeiffer.
About the 2 movies. It bothers me. People are
like, I could too. Oh my god.
I love Michelle Pfeiffer though. Like I had the biggest crush on her when I was growing up. I'm like, that is like, she needs a cool rider, so I'm gonna learn how to ride a bike. I'm gonna learn how to ride a motorcycle just to be a cool rider for Michelle. She needs something.
Did you watch what my favorite one? And it's like a comfort movie to me, but it's like kind of creepy. But oh my god, not Death Becomes Her, but another classic, but she's not in it. What is it? The What Lies Beneath. Do you love that one?
No, I need to get my movie education back on. I do. Yeah. I'm just now starting to watch, I wouldn't say older movies, but like I'm starting to just really watch movies I'd never seen before. You know what I mean? Because I kind of grew up watching very specific like superhero movies or whatever the case is. Like I always watch the same kind of movies, and now I'm like very broad. Well, I will say my Witch of a Mother made me watch chick flicks, so I'm very educated in a lot. So you've got
all of the rom-coms.
I've seen them then. Okay. I really know all those movies by heart.
Well, that's
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, that's a very good thing.
I have a good education.
She is the Catwoman, Tess. Like, there's no other Catwoman. I am so sorry.
Yes. She's the best. They're mad because when you pin those 2 movies against each other, it hurts their nostalgia feelings.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you grew up watching it, and then I'm like, look, just watch it back to back, tit for tat, and tell me which one makes more sense and who has better character development. I'm sorry. Okay. That's it. I'm not going to say another word about it. I'm just telling you.
I'm going into it with a different lens, and I'll get back. I'll report back once I'm done.
I'm telling you, this is a huge debate.
They're mad. Okay, Crime Con. Right.
Yes. Tell me everything. If you want to go T, let's go T. I'm fine with it. I gotta know.
No, everybody had only good things to say about you, Colby. Everybody wants to be friends with Colby, and I'm very protective of you. So I would just be like,
I know you are. That's very sweet of you.
What are you saying about Colby? Like, we love him. I'm like, that's right. You love him. He's not here right now.
I know. I did want to come for sure.
You know what though? You didn't. Okay. Here was the thing. Like I told you this before when we chatted after. I loved last year where everybody got to mingle in that like center. What was that? Like it was like a center bar, but then like surrounded by restaurants. It was actually a really cool setup at Denver.
It was perfect for people to meet each other because it's literally, like you said, it's so central to the middle of that area. And there's so much space for people to go sit and stuff. And so it just allowed that. I don't know if it was like that in Vegas.
No, it was in Caesar's Palace. Nobody knew where anything was. People were missing like the panels to go and sit on because you'd have to go. No, you'd have to like go up a set of escalators to turn the corner to go down 5 stairs to walk down a hallway to go up another set of escalators. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that.
I wouldn't have been able to find it either.
No. Oh, it was nice to meet you too. Or can you chime in here if you were at CrimeCon in Vegas to say like it was a cluster F? That's everybody was so stressed out when they would come to the booth. They're like, oh, I missed this. And then, okay, did you see the documentary about the cocaine kid?
The quarterback?
Yes.
Yes, I heard about that.
Okay, so he was supposed to be there.
Yes.
And then he couldn't get into
I know. Okay, and can I say something? And I don't know this guy, so I want to say this very softly and nicely. Okay. But brother, there's no way you didn't know that you couldn't make it in. And so I just feel like that's wrong to agree to do it knowing you couldn't get into the area. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole panel that people like wanted to come see, paid to come see, and then you knew you couldn't make it in. I just feel like that's you've got to know, right? Like,
I know.
Are you not aware you can't go into a casino? Like, is that not something you'd be aware of? Like,
right. And he was just, like, I can't remember what casino's next door, but he's in it and he's like, I can see you guys. It was like, that doesn't make it better. People were pissed. Like,
I'd be
and then they even said that they're like, even if like CrimeCon didn't know, like you obviously probably knew that you couldn't get in there. And so many people want to go to CrimeCon and tell their story and do a panel and all of that. And
right,
it was just ucky because it was like the day of. I think it was like maybe like minutes before.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm not allowed in.
I think I heard about it for that day, not the first day that everybody got there, but the day where you usually do the panels the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is, like you said, it's not, there's people who have been wanting to be able to tell like a family member story or something for a long time. So like to have that opportunity and know you can't even go in, come on, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to the dude, but you had to have known you couldn't go. And then you agreed to it way ahead of time. It's not like you just found out. So it's like you're at least, I would say you're at least at the minimum a couple months out from knowing you're going to do a panel.
100%.
And so I feel bad for everybody who wanted to see it too.
I know, they were waiting in line. All I just kept thinking about was the clusterfuck of the lineup. It's not funny. Okay, you know what happened also? Okay, both my moms were there. You've only met one of my moms.
Yes.
But both of my moms were there this year. And so my birth mom, the one that you haven't met, she's a big John Quinones fan. Like, oh no, wait, it wasn't John Quinones. Who was it? Oh fuck, what was his name?
Dateline dude.
No. The one she stood in line from. Kenda? Yeah, big fan. So he did a meet and greet line. Right. So I guess they were splitting the same ballroom into two. So somebody was on one side and then there was somebody else on the other side. So she waited for like literally over an hour and gets up to the front. I don't even know who the frick it was. She was like, where's
I would be Joe? So mad. I would be so mad.
Yeah. Then by the time they turn around, it was closed. So it was just like that. Like there was so much of that stuff there.
Oh my gosh. I went there to specifically meet someone and I spend time in line to go the wrong way. I don't even know what I'd do. I would rage quit right there.
I know that was the only thing. It was the only thing she wanted to do was go and meet him and like had it in her little arm. She's like, okay, I'm leaving the booth now. I'm going to meet Joe. I will say though, it worked out kind of because as she was leaving and she was heartbroken, she ran into Kelly Siegler and both her and I are big. Like I started shaking when I saw Kelly Siegler.
Yeah. I saw some real people there. Yeah. I think it's interesting to see some of the people that are crossing over into true crime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like later on, like I saw 50 Cent before they even did the documentary, I saw his thing and how he's going to be doing all this stuff. I'm like, this is the most like crazy universe of like crossover from someone you knew from like your whole life to like come over and start doing this other stuff and documentaries and stuff. It's just interesting to see all the people that are there. I saw Chris Hansen was there. They said he was there in Denver. I never saw him. Not one time.
Chris Hansen? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. I know. I think he's also like one of the elusives where you can't like, it's like once you get on the floor, like, I don't know how Josh Mankiewicz just puts himself out there as often as he does. Like, it's so nice to be able to like do that for people who love him. But he just like, if he's sitting still for like 5 seconds, there's like a swarm around him. You were getting swarmed in Denver too.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that. So I was like more than surprised. I felt bad because I asked Ray, I'm like, dude, let's go see what the ballroom, where we're supposed to go looks like. And so he's like, yeah, let's go see. He's like, for me, that just made me more comfortable to have an idea of what it looked like. Yeah. And I was like, we're just straight off from the gym in tanks, like just nasty. And then people are like doing their thing.
I walked past you and I was like, hey, I don't know you, but I know you.
Yeah.
And now I do know you.
And I like peek in, I'm like, okay, like that looks like the inside of an empty Walmart, so big. And then I was like, okay, that's way bigger than I thought it was. And then we left, but then everybody wanted to hug. And like, I feel bad because I know I'm sweaty and most people are like usually somewhere within this range of the armpit and the chest. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want you to smell. I don't want to be nasty, but also I don't want to say no because I love people. So it was just, I felt bad. I was like, I should have changed. I should have showered, changed, then came down here.
I saw you. That's probably when I saw you for the first time because I was like walking by and you would have probably been coming out. I was like, holy shit, that you are brave for just going, just raw dogging it out there.
I didn't know. That's the thing. That was not bravery. That was absolutely no idea what I was doing.
Were you like, what was that the first time you experienced that?
Yeah. I mean, like it's weird because like here in Arizona, when I would be at like Target and stuff, you always know if someone knows you, like the way they kind of like stop and look at you, like really look at you. So I've had people like that, but obviously when you're somewhere where I guess you don't realize the scale of like people who are aware. Like for me, I'm just coming to talk about it in general. Like I like to sharing more of the mental health side of it.
Yes.
And to be surrounded by people that are just so amazing. Cause I told you, I think I said, I don't even know what this is. Like, is this just like a crime junkie event where like people only want to talk about like the really gruesome details? So I had a completely different idea of what it was, and it was so much better and so much more like victim focused, and like people are so nice. It was just opposite of what I thought it was. Like I had like this dirty idea of what that event was.
I love that you said that, because I think that that is the reaction that everybody gets. I mean, even people in my life, when they're like, where are you going? And I'm like, CrimeCon. And they're like, you just talk about murder? And I'm like, not at all. And I'm like, and it's progressed so much. Like I told you that in Denver, like that was the first year where I was like really emotional to be able to like see so many families come and talk for themselves. And the year prior to it, I think, was Nashville. And that was my first experience with like the like US CrimeCon. And it was okay, but like it was definitely more like podcast, like you're going to like meet like people on the internet, like YouTubers and podcasters, and I don't know, it just felt like different. I almost didn't go to Denver, and then I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you did too, because I was leaving to go. It was like midnight when I met you, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting there, and I remember Emmy told me about you, but then she said, "This is Colby I was telling you about." And then we talked for like 5 hours straight.
I know.
I mean, I was so glad to like get to know you. I'm like, you're so kind. And like, it was just so easy to talk to you about all that stuff. So it was I think it was a really good thing to like, I feel like I got a lot of positive like interactions compared to what I assumed it was.
Right.
And I mean, people usually like, even just in general, when I've met people are like, do you talk to your mom? Like they just kind of go straight to that stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want to answer that. Like, it's not to be disrespectful to you, but no. And I don't have to, we don't need to immediately go there. Nobody was really doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that changed the whole perspective. And that's why I said so much good about it after. I said, if you have your story you want to share, this is a really good place to go. It's not like this, everybody's like obsessed with serial killers and just wants to talk about like the horrible stuff. It's very different than
exactly. Like last year, who was like there was the most shocking, I think, on a panel was JonBenet Ramsey's dad. But he talked a lot about like the evidence that he wants tested. And I think really it's like kind of those things where you get a different side of like what the media won't talk about as well. Like the amount of people that are like, they learn things at CrimeCon and they come out of it and they're like, oh my God, like, I didn't know that there was evidence that he's been trying to have tested and it, isn't getting done. I mean, that came out after, but CrimeCon had the exclusive on that. And then something else this year was like that too. I didn't know how I felt about it, but I know that there are people who are at CrimeCon. You guys will have to let us know if you saw the Scott Peterson one. So his lawyer was there, which I was really shocked to see.
That's crazy.
But he says that they're trying to, you guys let us know, because I didn't watch that one. If it was to retest things or.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, Emmy you were in that one. Yeah. Like.
Isn't it crazy what you don't know? Like, I think in a perfect segue to the documentary is like, that's exactly what I feel is important. Those kind of platforms, you wouldn't know how many years people have something that they are, that you haven't talked about, that you have never experienced. And you go to this place where there's so much people don't know, because what the media does really show you most of the time is kind of the same kind of idea, which is mostly crime based, which is not wrong, but there's just like, for the people involved, there's so much more to it. It's their real life. And so there's so much more that comes around. And I think that's why those platforms are beautiful for that reason, because you just don't understand what you don't understand. And I don't blame people for not thinking about behind that. But like I told you, I'm not shy with telling just kind of the experience with Netflix was just simply, it was so crime focused. And we spent like such a long time, like, this is not the point of this. And I think a lot of people who are like in some kind of involvement with their family or something in crime, they get put in the same exact place. Like it's all about that thing. And there's nothing else around that happens in real life that really ever gets talked about. And so I think that's why that stuff's really important, because there is so much else, so much more going on. And I think another big thing is for people when they come to CrimeCon, like I saw, I met Gabby Patillo's dad, and like you just meet these other people and you realize like for everyone else, at some point, the story kind of goes to a peak and then drops off, or it has like a conclusion for the normal person, but then you still live it for the rest of your life. So every time you go, like, yeah, it's like it's been this many years or whatever the case is, but it's not just over ever. Like it's your real life. So I think it's hard for people to understand that. And that's why I thought CrimeCon was interesting too, because you hear other people saying similar things. Like they're talking about it years and years and years later, but it's never not relevant or important to your life because it did happen to you and it's not ever over for you in that sense, you know?
Right. And they come to, and I love that, like that you know, like, I mean, not just, you know, like lump survivors and, you know, family members of victims all like together, but, to be able to do something with it after the fact, right? Like Gabby's family now has like the foundation, and they were there this year again. All of them were there. And then what you're doing with your documentary. Okay, hold on. Look at, I'm going to do something crazy, you guys. Wait for it. We have an asset here. So Colbs can talk about.
I freaking love you. You're the best.
Colbs can talk about.
Yes. First of all, she made this gorgeous version. I put this out on our community as just my typed out thing, and then she made it beautiful. So I'm totally stealing this and giving her credit, but I'm stealing this beautiful presentation here. This was just the tier level because I'll basically just give a simple rundown of why this is the way it is. So back in 2020, after, even before, there was people trying to do the family story, and like they even made the freaking a movie about Lori before anything even happened. Like it was crazy how fast people were trying to turn it into something. And so when I met with some people in the background and I talked to a media company that was basically already linked to doing it with Netflix, I spent a really long time explaining how different I want the documentary to be. Like it's all, you know, is this one crazy thing. There's so much misinformation out there. People don't know the difference. So I told them that for a long time. We finally agreed to do it. And then you don't know what you don't know when you're young. And so I just went through the process for a long time. And long story short, it was just like almost the 180 of what we had talked about for years. And I don't really want to point fingers, but it's just the reality. Like they were doing what's best for them, completely against what I had asked for us to do together. And so then after that happened, that was even before the trials happened. Lori hadn't even been through her 23 trial. So this was a long time ago. And you know, I spent the next few years just thinking about how do you do this like the right way? How could I ever do this again? At first I was like, you know, forget everybody. I'm never going to try to tell the story again because they're just going to screw you. And so obviously a lot of companies come to you and they're trying to create something. They want your input. And every time they just, you know, let's Lori focus. Let's talk about Lori's mental state. How did she become a murderer? How is she, what was the reason why she got, I'm like, you're never going to understand it fully anyway. And so I finally started talking to these companies more recently and getting closer and closer to closing that gap on saying yes to doing one, because it's a lot of work. Like you need so many things. And long story short, we just got to a point where the agreement could never go forward in that way. We just could never get there. Like everything still had a very central Lori focus. It just felt like it was just going to be the same thing, maybe a little different, but mostly still Lori has to be the draw. So I finally just took the leap, and I'm not going to expose like relationships or anything, but without having the conversation with you and like other people around me that gave me more confidence to say this is possible, like to do it on your own, I wouldn't have done it because it'd been like, this is too overwhelming. As much as I want to, I won't do it myself. Right. And so it basically finally all just got to a point. I said, I'm going to do this on my own. And there was just a big leap of faith. And so the tiers are basically just so people understand, like anything you do obviously is going to make this happen. Like it's going to take the people to make this happen. But obviously I wanted to also give something back to people so they understand that they're involved, because this is like an everybody kind of project that we're doing. And so we just kind of are taking it into our own hands. And yeah, I think it's the best way to possibly do this, especially when a story's this big and has been talked about for such a long time. Right. I can't tell you the stuff I see and I'm like, that's not even true. Like, where did you get that? I don't even know how we get to this place where like you're lying on here, or you just don't know. So you just fill in the gaps, kind of like a movie or something.
Right.
So
yeah, I love all of this because like you said, this includes everybody that is getting you to the destination, you know, yes, where you want to go, which is really cool. And I don't know, I'm excited to see it all come together as well, because you're just like, you're wanting to do it all. Hey, Colbs?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's going to sound crazy, but do you know the new movie Obsession that went like super viral? That like some guy was a comedian. He was a YouTuber, comedian.
Yeah.
And he put out some kind of like it's literally like a horror film about a chair. Don't ask me. I don't like horror stuff. I'm scared of it. And then he made another one with like a small budget, like an $800 budget. And he made like an hour long kind of like VHS kind of horror thing.
Right.
And then I guess that gave him a boost to like do a real directing thing. So they got a small budget. And then that movie was going so viral. Like I saw it on my Instagram and I'm like, I don't even like horror. Why is this even on my Instagram? But like, then you see that he's like, I don't know how old he's, I think he's 25, but he started like I think they've made over 500 million worldwide off his movie, and they had a tiny budget. And I've told people this is never about money, but that just shows that he made something completely from his social media. We're just in a new age where there's opportunity for you because people can do stuff on their own and kind of create their own path. And again, I don't try to diss media because it has its place, but like you're also in the same realm. You create stories in a sense, like you create the way that you tell a story. And like when I'm listening to you, I'm completely focused and sucked into how you're explaining it to me. And so I think that's the whole thing, is like we're just in a new place where there's an opportunity for people to do it differently. And as much as, you know, media does its good part, it also has a very negative part that I've experienced. And so you can do this on your own, and it's not as complicated as it used to be. Even just with equipment, like you can get stuff that people didn't even have in Hollywood on your computer now, like the editing software, the cameras, that stuff's available. So I just said, F it, we're doing it. We're going to do it. Whatever it looks like, it looks like. But I will tell people that the conversations I've had with people who were directly involved, they're so on board before we even had, like, we're still barely in the beginning of the raising money, and everybody's like 100% committed to doing it. And they know it's just raw, but they're like, yeah, let's do this.
Well, I think that's what's so cool. And especially I think this will be like kind of like not like the first of its kind, but like almost in terms of, like you said, a case that is known by so many people, has been told, you know, like often filling in gaps that are incorrect. And for you to do it, like, I don't know. I think
it's going to break the mold in a sense, because, you know, the Datelines, I think Dateline broke their record of telling the story. Like my family story is the thing they've covered more than anything. Like ever in the history of Dateline. Yeah. They made the most episodes specifically about this story, more than any other case they've ever covered in their history. So I think that tells you a lot. Like there's so much that can be explored, but nobody knows what it was like to actually live in it. So that's who I went and got and talked to and said, let's get your perspective, because you lived it and breathed it and you experienced it. And it's not that other people don't have perspective, but you've already had a lot of that before. And so I'm going for a lot of the family involvement, and then we have a lot of like the law enforcement involvement, and we have media involvement. So you kind of are going to get a huge view of the whole thing. And so that's why I've said it's really going to be different, because not everybody's ever agreed to do one because of how media and contracts and stuff work. You can't always like put everybody together because of the agreements or whatever. It doesn't always work out.
Like if something else is going on, right? Or you have like a certain amount of time. Yeah, I'm dealing with that right now.
Yes, it happened, and you get stuck in a contract or like, or an agreement, and then you're stuck like for whatever amount of time that is. And so that's really been the hardest part, is that so many people come in, and the thing is, it's unfortunate, but I hope to kind of turn this around just in this whole true crime area, is like, you want to give people the platform to come on and really share their part rather than tell it for them, or try to figure out what you think people want to see. Like, I think it's just a lot of copy paste. Like, you're just hearing the same thing a little different, but it's the same information just being reused. And so I'm like hoping to give the victims power to say what they went through and experienced. Cause it's really, at the end of the day, if you're talking about a family member that's been killed or you've lost, they can't speak for themselves. And so really you try to fill that gap by giving everybody else a place to talk about them and then also their experiences. And you kind of pull away the idea that this is all about just the crime part, you know, solely. It needs to be a whole picture.
It always blows my mind that, you've said it so often that so many of these people who reach out just kind of want to regurgitate the same like Lori focused story, where I don't know. I'm like, I maybe that's kind of like why I do my storytelling, quote unquote, the way that I do it, is because I often leave documentaries having so many questions about the victims and their lives and their friends, right? And like or their siblings and how they're doing after, and kind of like, I don't know, like what their story is, right? Because it's more than just the story that we know. So it always like kind of shocks me that is the focus. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not like that. So I'm so excited to
and I think
and see.
you and I having the conversations we've had, and like, you told me you had talked about it one time. You could have easily hopped on and talked about it 100 times and people would watch it. Like, that's just, I understand from an outside perspective, people being driven towards it, but just shows your character. Like, just overall, I don't think people know what a sweet, amazing person you actually are, but I think it does come through in your videos. But my point is, it's not common. Like, it's not common because most people will see something like that and it's just like, they're gonna hit the trends. And that's how those shows and documentaries are. They want to hit it hard and they want to do the story and they want the scoop. And so that's the hardest part, is like, there's so much more on the table for other people. And again, I think CrimeCon does a good job with like coming back, because your perspective change every year that this has gone by. Like, this is the first year and it's only been 6 months. This is the first year there hasn't been a trial, or like it's finally over. So it hasn't even been a full year since, well, I guess right about now is the time that it finally ended last year for like my family, with what, 5 trials or 4?
Oh my gosh.
Is it 4? 4. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, to go through 4 separate trials is nuts. But it's finally, like, I guess that book is finally closed. And so it's almost like the best time, in my personal opinion, to my thing was always, I don't want it to be around the Lori trials. I don't want anything with her stuff going on to affect like what I want to do for the family story. Because even though that's when people usually strike, is when something's happening at that time. I was like, I don't want her to overshadow, because it's not her story, it's everyone's. And it's so Lori centric and so Chad centric. I'm like, you already pretty much know, like, if you watch the trials, you pretty much know everything. And it's nasty. I don't like any of it. It's all gross. It's just this weird, flirty, nasty relationship between them. And like, they can say whatever they want about religion, but it was really just selfishness that got everybody killed for their money. So it's crazy to look at it now, because my perspective today, even from when I was in it last year, is like it's like so ridiculously different. Just like, cause I watched all the trials now. I've seen all the back trials. I like listened to it. So I don't know. Everybody changes. So I say that for like going forward for people, you never know their perspective years later. And I think that we don't get a lot of follow-up on people. You know, you have no idea what is going on in their life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch anything that's done on your mom?
I have. There was a part of me, so it's weird how this happens, but from like 2020 through 23, I would never wanted anything to do with it. So I didn't watch her trial. I didn't listen to 1 minute of it. I had to testify in it. And even then, it was show up and leave as fast as I can. Like, I just did not want to be there. But I told the prosecution, I said, I'm down to, I will tell you whatever I know. Like, we're gonna dunk on her. She's going to jail. So I'll tell you what I know. And so I don't know when I don't know, at some point you have this nagging thing in your life where you're like, everyone knows everything about my family and I don't even know. So like, I can't really even understand all this stuff. And so I started to listen to different YouTube channels at first. And then when the trials happened, I did go fully. So I think it all started because I had to go testify at Chad's, but it was towards the end. So we stayed. And then I also did a victim impact statement in person at Chad's trial. And that was the first time I had like really heard anybody else, their perspective, like listening to Tammy's family. Cause in that one, Tammy actually was like prosecuted for Chad. And then, well, I think they were the first time too. So maybe I'm lying, but I was there. So it's just different. And you hear everybody's perspective. And then we all kind of had that moment where like, it's over. And so I think that opened the door for me to be like, I am curious to kind of understand what happened to my family. And like, I think when you know something so brutal happened to like your siblings, you don't know if you ever want to know. But then there's the other part of you that's like, it's like a split thing down the middle where you're like, I do kind of want to just like face it because it's just nagging for that I don't know. So long story short, I think I went to the one here in Arizona because it's like downtown.
Right.
And then I started just opening my mind to hearing what's happened. And when I tell you, it blew my freaking mind to know how much deeper it went, like to hear the details, to see the text messages, to know what was being discussed, the premeditation to everybody's murder.
Wow.
I was like looking into the most dark abyss that I could have ever imagined.
Oh my gosh, Colby. So that like you literally found out like as it was unfolding.
And that's the thing. I didn't even pay attention. So basically I started late. I started with Charles and I was like, I'm just going to face it. And I had not seen him for a long time. We didn't talk like 6 months before, I want to say, before he was killed. And so like, I totally ruined our relationship by not talking to him. And then when he's gone, there's like no closure because he was just killed over there. And then they took his body and then they cremated him and it was over. Like I could never have a moment to really even like, I don't know, find peace in that situation.
Right.
So I went to his trial and then the day I went in person, they were doing his autopsy photos. And I was like, oh my gosh, like why did I show up? Like this is bullshit. I shouldn't have come. But there was one moment where I looked up and I just saw it was just his face. And there was something really peaceful about it. Like just knowing, like, I don't know, you just face it for the first time. And so I found a ton of strength in just like facing it because it's reality. I can't ignore it either. So I saw that. I kind of just like, I don't know, just made peace with it for the first time fully with him. And like, I've never seen Tyler or JJ, but I don't think I could. No. But that's because their state was so different, you know, but that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to watch my documentary again. So I started with basically rewatching it and it just destroyed me because like the context then of like remembering how hard I tried to tell a completely different story. Like when I tell you, I had people I said, don't get them on here because they're clout chasers. They were specifically, I just laugh about it now.
That was one of the first things that you, not the first thing. Hey, did you know that not one of the first things you told me, but that's when I started really getting fired up. I was like, oh my gosh.
I think you're one of the first people though I really had a whole discussion about it with like that. And I think it's just because, I don't know, it was just easy to talk to you. It was just very genuine. So I just immediately felt comfortable enough to like explain that whole situation to you.
Yeah.
Because I'd had
Which
talked
I'm
about
so
it, but
thankful to, because I didn't, you don't know, like even, being in this, industry for 6 years now and watching true crime like my whole life with my mom, like you have this perception about how things would go behind the scenes and hope that if somebody's telling their story and inviting you into their home and giving you like just like the most I don't know, vulnerable piece of them, that there would be some ethics and respect and empathy there. I was just like, I was so glad to learn about it though, because it's made me look at things in such a different lens. Now I'm like, now I'll critique actually like way more, but I think that we need to, and I'll call that shit out too. If I like talk about a trending documentary, I'll talk about on my channel and be like, and I bet these frickers didn't even know this was gonna go this way.
I love that though.
Yeah, because
well, that makes you real, because most
off.
people, it's just, it obviously, like, I have the perspective I have because I had to live it and I had to experience it. So I just share that part with people because I'm like, especially with other victims, but anybody who gets involved, because this is I don't want to say an odd industry, but anytime you mix real life and then like content, it's very easy for people who want to make, especially like documentaries or like tell the story. A lot of times they take creative liberty, and that's the problem where things start to really get messy, or they really focus on the hard stuff. Like there's not a full picture anyway. And so I had to learn the hard way too. And like I said, I had people, I said, don't have them on just because they're not genuine. Like that's not even against them. As much as they've talked bad about me, whatever, whoever, how they've acted in the background, they've been attacking people online and whatever.
Who
like
is it? I just want to talk to them. I just want to talk to them. Who is it?
I will text you their names. They know who they are too.
They know who
it's
they
unfortunate though too. It's the woodwork. Like when this happened, all these people that have barely ever been around are like, I know them, and here's all the scoop. I'm like, I've been around you 4 times ever. What are you doing? Like, it's so sad. But like what people don't also know, and I have no problem saying this now because it's part of the whole story, but people don't understand the type of, like, I said this, I think, in the impact statement because it was the only way to explain it, but it feels like a nuclear bomb drop because I lost my friends, my family, extended family. Everybody just stopped being a unit and everybody started having problems. So like there wasn't anything left. It wasn't like everybody in the family got together and were supporting each other. It was like the opposite. Like everybody just went different directions and nobody knew how to feel about each other. And all of a sudden you have no relationships left in your own family. Your friends don't know how to act. And you just feel like the loneliest person alive and you already lost everything else. So like I say that just because that part really helps me identify with others, that are in those places. And so I try my best to just like, it sucked. People don't know how hard it was in the background for all these years. Just starting in the end of 24, going into 25, now 26, I've started to talk about it and open up like about the whole thing, hopefully helping people just in life learn how to like, you can deal with this stuff no matter how hard it feels. And sometimes facing it eventually actually is the best decision you could make. But then facing it, people were worried because like I was watching the trials, my mom's, like I went backwards kind of just know.
I was texting you. I'm like, Colby.
Yes, I know. I feel like at first I was like, yeah, you know what? This might be a bad idea. But I'm glad that I know what I know because I couldn't even really tell my sibling stories without knowing a lot of what happened to them. And it sucks to know that, but it's the truth. Like, it's just what happened. But then I had the freaking stroke in the middle of that. So I was like, I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to slow down. Let me just calm down a little bit and chill out. So I laugh about it. Maybe it sounds insensitive, but it's one of those parts of your life where it's a laugh or cry. So a lot of times I'm just like, the chances of this happening are so slim, like 0.1% would ever have to deal with this in sequence and have a crazy mom. So I feel like you have to sometimes laugh. And not that the crime is funny, but just how ridiculous some of the stuff is. It's so out of this world that it's actually like insane. It's not even, I can't put in words.
I mean, yeah, which is, I mean, I've told you so many times, like, I don't understand how you are the person that you are at, like, going through what you've been through, but, like, you just yeah, you do have this, I don't know, ability to never ever make it light, but just, like, have, I don't know, like, a comfort in listening to you talk about this and the way that you are just, like, so level-headed and able to, I don't know, I guess, like, compartmentalize in a certain
Mhm.
way and do it with, like, a lot of, like, grace and, not necessarily humor, but I'll find myself, like, smiling, like, you'll just, like, make a comment, and then, like, I'll just see your chat also, like, laughing of just about something
Yeah.
silly, but do you find you, like, have, like, gravitated towards humor more?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
I told people this the other day. I think when you go through a lot, and I think it's after meeting tons of, detectives and cops and FBI agents, when you go through a lot, your brain's trying to relieve the stress in some way. And it like there's literally I listen to the Drake song all the time. That's called Laugh or Cry. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. Because like your body has this thing about like wanting to kind of get rid of tension.
Right.
And so I think that dark humor in itself is more like, for me, it's not dark humor, but more like it's just some of the stuff. Like when we were sitting in the trials and I'm listening to some of the stuff my mom was saying, and she's like, I put Satan in a box and threw him to Antarctica, folded him like a taco. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You said this to other adults and they listen to you. Like, that's not, I can't not laugh at that. That's
Right.
hilarious. Like some of the stuff that Chad was doing to woo her, and like just like it's so stupid that you can't help but laugh. And I'm like, I know it's not appropriate to laugh, but I can't help it. This is the most stupid thing I've ever heard. And it's a group of adults who are all listening and all agreeing to these just, I don't even know what the word is. It's so
Right.
ridiculous. And so it's hard to not laugh at some of the things that they were doing and saying. It's just that it's that funny.
Where do you stand with, like, your religion and your beliefs after seeing, like, just, like, such extremes and how people with, I guess, like, you gotta say charisma, this type of charisma that Lori has to
Mhm.
be able to say stuff like that, and people follow and believe it. Like, I'm curious, like, what that was like, A, growing up with, like, for you, and then
Mhm.
kinda where you sit on it now.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I grew up Mormon, LDS, and we were kind of like out of the church. Like we were more like every once in a while go to church, and we were really just not super religious, but it was always part of our lives. I think the thing, Lori, that I always say, like the only thing I think she really taught me was just how to pray. That's it. And so I learned how to pray early on for myself. Like that was what I knew is like I could trust on, like I believed in God separately from like even the church teaching me stuff. And
Right.
then when I got older, I kind of distanced myself um, for a lot of different reasons. You kind of just, at some point, you kind of have to figure out what do you think and believe. And my whole life, it always kind of been like, just do it because you grew up this way. And so I feel like over time, I just specifically started to ask questions. And it's crazy because it was like right before everything started to happen, like bad.
Wow.
So I kind of left the LDS church when I was 21
Mhm.
and just wanted to like kind of, I don't know, just figure out what I believed in. Like I knew
Right.
what I core believed in, but she was going down a completely different path. I think for like slowly, because she always had like end of the world idea, like what's the word? Ideology of like end
Mhm.
of the world's coming, Jesus is coming back kind of thing. That always existed.
Right.
And so like we just weren't in the same place. Like I just didn't think the way she did. And then so I guess when you start coming on your own journey, and then she kind of just took a huge dip, like really all the way in, jumped um right after I had left the house and had been married. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
after I feel like she had that, I don't know if it was just the time, like to have nobody really at the house all the time or whatever, but
Right.
you know, her and Chad really are like a match and gasoline type of situation. Like they really
Mhm.
just were the worst two things you could possibly put together. And so after that point, it just, I was going down my own path. And then, when I heard, even just before I knew the trial stuff, but I heard like about the zombie stuff and I saw Jesus and we are equal to Jesus and all just, I mean, it's so layered in religion.
Right.
I don't know. I guess the first thing I said was like, I don't think this is God's doing. This is their choice. And that's what we have is choices. We get to make whatever choices we want and live with the consequences.
Right.
And for whatever reason, what's not for me to question, I guess God allows that. And so I feel like I just had a different perspective, but I always like looking back and realize I always thought my mom was like mentally ill. And I think you just kind of like, well, I love her. And I don't know. It's not like she was saying all this stuff or her whole life, but just even her wanting to like die all the time or the end of the world's coming. Like she always had extremes. And so I think that's where it's like, I didn't feel that way, you know, growing
Okay,
up.
so
So I
that
think,
was just like in your gut, you were just like, "Oh, okay, Lori's
I
on
mean, I
one
was
right now,"
scared.
or you were?
I
Yeah.
was scared. Yes.
Okay.
Because my mom would say stuff like, you can just go to school, get in as much debt as you need to just in life because don't worry, the world's going to end. I'm like, what horrible advice. You're the worst. What if I listen to you, dummy? Like I'd be screwing myself over for the rest of my life because I believed you. So I don't know. I don't know why my perspective was different. I think growing up, I was just very to myself. I had a lot of isolation, especially just as a young kid. And so I don't know, maybe I don't know what makes me so different than her, but I just always looked at her in a different light. And I didn't know how to compartmentalize that as a kid because you just love your mom. And I think a part of you makes a character up for someone you love and you don't see them for who they really are, but you like want to believe that they're something more than they are. And so I did that for her for sure. But you know, now that I've done therapy and like just you slowly realize all these things, especially as a parent, I'm like the stuff she did as a parent, I would never do. So I think there's just something intangible different about us. And I can't really put my finger on it. It's just, I see things very different. And I think maybe because I had such an extreme mom, it made me a lot more grounded. Like I think I wanted stability. I craved, you know, even mental stability or just like I didn't like how erratic she was, you
Right.
know? So I've always craved just calmness.
Right. Very interesting. Yeah, I always wondered because like the way again, the way you are able to compartmentalize and talk about her, it seems not real, right? And it's like that's your own mom. That's like what you lived. Yesterday I was watching your live. I loved it because the mental health aspect to it and you were kind of like going through the definitions of personality disorders.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like just like such a fascinating take. But you did even say on there too, like this is like generalized, these are definitions, and like Lori's kind of she's in a league of her own.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because once I don't know, at some point I got psychologically drawn into like, how does this happen too? I think I finally like understand why people ask this question so often. And so because I know her so well, it's like having a PhD in understanding her and just how she moves. But I feel like I just always have been super vigilant with people. And that's from that trauma of like temperature checking people to make sure you never upset them because she was so erratic. So it's like weird because it like created this thing where you always watched how she moved and just noticed things. And that's why I think maybe I even felt kind of thrown off because once I moved out, I didn't know she was moving so religiously. Like she really didn't even show that. Like she was just like doing so much, like having a whole affair. Like that blew my mind. I was like, how could you be having an affair? Like it just didn't even make any sense to me.
Right.
But I think, you know, just the mental health thing is really interesting because she really is like the most extreme. And I say this as a joke, but the truth, like, I don't think people realize the type of stuff I grew up watching and dealing with. So my understanding is just different because it's not like I asked for this education, but I understand it because of what I dealt with my whole life. And now I just understand the terms. But she really is like, I've studied other people's cases. I've listened to other mom cases, like not maybe even killed their kids, but just generalized in other places. I'm like, nothing even comes close to like the levels of like how Lori was. Like it just doesn't even compare.
And the manipulation you were saying, I think you talked about where she wanted to see your daughter and she wasn't feeling well, and then all of a sudden it turned into so you mean I'm never ever gonna see her? Yeah.
That's like you saying, oh, sorry, I can't talk right now.
Level.
And you're like, oh, sorry, I can't pick up the phone. So you're never going to talk to me again, Sherilyn. You hate me. You're going to block me. It's like, and then she'd go into, you know what I've done for you in your life. Like,
right?
What are you
right?
talking about? I used to get under my skin though, because I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, this is so erratic. And I can tell. And I didn't know why I was so irritated. I'm like, you're so nuts. You're just so nuts. So I always knew that. That's the thing I can always say. Like, that was consistent. I just always felt that way. I'm like, you're just so nuts. Like, you just take things so out of context. And it bothered me. So I guess at some point you learn to live with it and you try to love someone and just say you love them. And they're like, well, they've done this for you. Like, I had to go through my head all the time, like, well, your mom's done this for you. And like, you just kind of create this barrier of like, I don't know, non-judgment or something, I guess, when you're growing up. Like, you try to just take it for the good. I think that's the reason why it's like so hard to face how evil she is. And then you talk to her, like when I interviewed her, and she almost sounds the exact same. She doesn't miss a beat. She lies her ass off, but it doesn't even feel like a lie because it's so clean. It's just a normal conversation. There's no breaking. It just sounds like a perfect story. I know it's a fake story, but it really made me realize like you really are evil and you're so covertly evil. And I think that's what makes it even crazier. I don't know.
And she doesn't think that, right? Like she just what does she think?
I've said this before. This is my diagnosis, not being a doctor. Okay. I went to school, but I'm not a psychologist. I will say, I think I know her very well. I think that she is forcing the fantasy as hard as she can because she can't face reality. And so I don't think she's as lost as some people have claimed her to be. And that's my personal take because I know her too well. I know she knows what she did was wrong, but she has to keep reinforcing lies just so she never faces the fact that she killed our entire family.
Right.
That's what I think. So I know she knows because her actions from when they were moving and they were running and the way that they lied, you're aware of what you did and you have to keep making up new lies for different people you meet. And everyone she told, Charles had died in a different way. Tylee was dead. I lost my daughter, or I lost both my kids. So everyone she met Lori said some other story. Nothing was like one story. And then she comes to me and tells me that Tylee killed JJ, which had never been said either. So it's like all these different things, like you just have to lie. And that just shows me though, that you know what happened and you just need to lie. So I think it's like there's something called, I think it's called like reinforcement for psychological, but it's like if you say something enough on repeat, you'll start to believe it. Right. Like it's like a part of the way that you form neural pathways. And so I think that's what she's done to try to keep herself from facing the truth because it's horrible. I mean, it's the worst thing you could do. And she's the most dangerous human there is. If you take your own kid's life and your own husband's life, there's nobody you won't kill. So you are literally the most dangerous human there is because there's serial killers who wouldn't touch their kids.
Right. No, literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally. Yeah.
It's insane.
Even who is that? There was that documentary, like the girlfriend of Ted Bundy and like her daughter who he like loved so much. And it was like, they were like, what the hell? Like, how are you Ted? Like, how did you do that? And then you're just like such a different person. But yeah, like the coldness there. Just wow. Well, I'm excited to learn more. I really am more about JJ and Tylee because that's like that. I leave anything that I've seen about the case, even conversations or watching things, wondering more. And that's your focus, right?
Yeah. So I have tried to explain this, and maybe this is the best way I can, but like I'm going to be telling the whole story. And that's the thing. It's going to honor my siblings for the first time because you actually know them at the end from a lot of different people. It's not just me for the first time. Like people have asked me, why haven't you talked a lot about them on your channel? It's like, because I've been waiting to do it this way first, because me telling you things is great. I can tell you every story right here. We could spend the next 3 hours. I'll just tell you everything about them. But it's more beautiful when you get a ton of different people who feel the loss, experienced it, and loved them with all their hearts to give you a fuller picture and to really show you who they were. And I've just always waited to share them in this way because I want other people to be able to tell you more about them with me. And so that's the point. It's a full circle thing. And it's actually going to, I've told people this too. It's not about Lori, but you can't pretend she doesn't exist. So I know how to tell the story as a full everybody's story the whole way through. And that way there is real context. So like, as I've gone through therapy, it's crazy because all the things I've done, like without preparing for this, prepared me to do documentary, right? But like going back in my own life has made me realize, like, if I were to tell you the full story, a lot of Lori would make more sense because there's context. So the whole thing is going to be told in its fullness from all of the people who experienced it. And so I think that's what makes it different. But yeah, I mean, like having a real understanding of who each person was, especially the kids in Charles, and letting people actually see them and understand them from so many different people who love them is the most important way you can share that. Other than that, it's really just third-hand information anyway, because they're not here. So I'm like, I'm just going to bring everybody that loved them and let them have a way to tell their story the best that we can, because it's not going to be perfect, but it's authentic. It's not a third person information from, and I know people care about them, but it's important to have people who involved talk about it.
Right. Yeah. And who you've co-signed to actually vet, to be like, who better to know who actually, you know, knew them, or, you know, what they're gonna say and do. Cause
well,
that's like people's audacity also. I'm like, sometimes, like, especially
so
when you, I know. So
what's wrong?
when you told me that, when you're just like, oh, like, you know, some people were on there who just like literally didn't know that. I'm like, okay, you know that, like, like Colby's gonna see this, and like you just confidently are sitting there like you got a story to tell.
They talk like they are so matter of fact. And the thing is, like you said earlier, people don't know what they don't know. And I don't expect that. Like, and that's the problem, is when people come out of the woodworks, that's the point. Unless someone's trying to run around and fact check everything, it's impossible for me to try to fix everything. Like, you should hear the rumors that come out of all these things, like the rumors that Tylee wasn't at my wedding and all these things. That's like one thing I address, because I'm like, this is the most ridiculous. I have photos. My sister's at my wedding. What a stupid thing to try to spread.
Why was that a rumor?
You tell me. To make it seem like it's worse than it was, like to make it look like Tylee was this outcast. I'm like, Tylee was my bridesmaid for on the other side. She was asked to be a bridesmaid, and we went to a venue that she had a panic attack at. And so I asked her myself, I said, Tylee, I don't want you to be having a panic attack on the wedding day. Just know you don't have to do this. But she had went to a trip right before. This is the thing. I was so angry because I'm getting married, so I'm not paying attention to where everybody is. But we go out there and we had a photographer. Everything was preset, and she went on some trip with her friend and like was stayed overnight. And so she didn't come back till like right before the ceremony. And we took all the pictures pre-ceremony. Our photographer was hired for the pre-ceremony and the ceremony, and then nothing after. So we didn't even have an after party professional photographer. Guess who took all the pictures after? Freaking Alex. He took the pictures of the after party, and it was on Lori's computer, and I don't know where that is. So I've never even seen all that stuff, but he was the one that had a camera. So yeah, long story. It's so weird to even say that, but like to think that's So, but she came, I guess, right before the ceremony, because she came up and sat. We had like our families in the very front. And like in the pictures, and you can see everybody kind of in the back, but our families were front center. And so she was there with her friend, and then we had a bunch of pictures taken, and then she was at the after thing, and she was like serving food. I was just happy she was there at that point, but I was pissed because she missed our family photos that we paid to have family photos. I was like, why were you allowed to go on a trip? What was that? Like, who allowed you to go on that trip? I'm sorry, you knew this was coming up. So it was like so frustrating in general. But then the rumor became, oh, she was excluded. And then they said, oh, it's AI. It's not real. She's not in the photo. So I'm like, please, I will pay for someone to take it to a photo expert and pass it around to 40 different people and tell me it's fake. There's witness of this. The fact that that's this type of stuff
that was even a thing.
Yeah, but it's been like that from the beginning. People said that I was in Rexburg trying to shoot at Tammy Daybell. That's the type of stuff it's like, it's never ending with rumors. People just don't know. And then they're just
glad I've never found that side of people, Colby.
I've seen the worst. I've seen such a beautiful side of the internet, and I've also seen the other side. And I don't think people realize how negative it really is. Like, people DM you. they'll say whatever they want to. Like, they will hit you up like, you mother effer, cussing you out like, you are such a piece of shit. I'm like, holy crap, bro, I've never met you in my life. Like, and they'll never tell you that in person though. They're never gonna come up to you and say that. But on Facebook, people are very tough. They're very tough.
Oh, Facebook is the freaking worst. My God.
Instagram, they go off.
Yeah. My Instagram DMs are like a vault. Like, nobody, I don't even have business going in my Instagram DMs.
No.
But if it makes people feel happy, it's like, you know what? Talking to the abyss.
Exactly.
But that is ridiculous. I can't. Oh my gosh.
When you're going through it and it's like rumorville and you've never been criticized for something you didn't do. That's why I say that a lot about other people. I'm like, you need to be really careful with who you point fingers at when a case is ongoing, because you could be victim blaming somebody who's in hell and they're getting ridiculed online. I bet this person's involved and they probably murdered their own person. And I'm like, you don't understand what that feels like when you're like crying every day and you're like in turmoil over what's happening. And like, for me, like when someone's missing and your siblings are missing, like you think about it every moment of the day and you just play out scenarios. Like you wouldn't believe the torture. So I really feel for people who don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's worse than knowing.
I think, what did you go talk with Ashley? Was it Ashley Banfield that you spoke to when Nancy Guthrie? Well, I mean, fuck, Nancy's still missing.
Yeah,
but
I know.
So when you see people like speculate with that type of stuff,
yes,
what do you do? What does it do for you?
I said that about specifically with Savannah Guthrie. I said when it first got huge, everybody was zooming in on her eyes. It's her behind the mask. She did it to her own mom. Like, guys, this is bullshit. Like, you don't understand. She sees this. I promise you, whether you think she does or doesn't, somewhere around the line, somebody's either telling her this stuff or she's experiencing it on her own social media. You're telling someone who's missing someone they love, who has nothing to do with it, that it's them who did it, like killed or took or did that. Like, you're blaming them while they're going through it. So I just tell people that's my biggest caution. I live that. So I always say, just be really careful with like the theories and the stuff you say, because it actually is real life. This isn't a game. This is someone's missing and someone's going through it, trying to figure out what happened. So I really try my best, like just from anything I've learned, like sharing stuff about media experiences, being really careful with who you talk to. And, they sell you on getting in those rooms and then you walk in there and it's the opposite of what you agreed to do. So it's crazy. Like, you just don't know what you don't know. So I try my best to just tell people like the best I can in context. Like, hey, I've been through it. I really don't want to see this for you.
Right. And then kind of, I don't know, probably brings even more up for you as well, because you're like seeing it from a different lens. And
it hurts me for others.
Oh yeah, right. Somebody just messaged Emily did about the surviving roommates of the Idaho 4, and that the way, oh my gosh, I could rage when I see.
I know.
And TikTok, I'm like, I always rag on TikTok. I'm like, TikTok is just,
TikTok is like garbage. It's garbage information. I hate it. It's such a bad
Wild West. It is the Wild West. The things that people say on TikTok with their whole chest and their face, I'm like,
and you wonder why you're dead ass wrong, and they speak like it's fat, like they know sources. The stuff that people say, you're like, and that's the problem. And that's the thing. People do want their information because of how social media is. They kind of want, just give me the rundown. Like, give me the 3-minute version instead of a 20-minute version. And so that's why TikTok has the platform it does. But I mean, I just see things get taken so out of context, and then some people just don't ever let it go. Like, they're still riding the horse forever later. I'm like, are you have the stamina for this? Like, you're still going? Like, it blows my mind. So it makes me sad, because like, what are we doing? This is just content. And that's the problem, is it's real life. You're not talking about content. We're not talking about a movie. We're not talking about other stuff. Like, you're talking about something that really is affecting people. So you have to have some kind of understanding and ethics to even cover it. Again, that's why I have so much respect for you, regardless of if we were friends or not. Watching your channels, like, she really is, like, you can just tell. I don't know how else to say it other than I think you're just so kind when you speak about it, and you can tell that you're just, I don't know, informative. rather than trying to like just pull out meat and without caring if it's context or not. You just say it because you know this is going to get every click in the world if I just pull out all the bad stuff with no other context, because that's what most people do.
Which is hard. And it's hard. And I mean, like you and I have talked about it too, like, and in terms of like that being like your job, understanding like the game, there's so many times where I'm like, I consider being like, okay, well, if you kind of like talk a lot about this one case, it's doing whatever, maybe make a couple videos, maybe make a whole like series on it. Unless I really like know and I'm working with the family, it's just not something I can do. I know that would like, help have faster growth, but I'm so comfortable at the pace, even though it's like, it's kind of like a little slow burn. It's good because those are the people that you want long-term, right?
Exactly.
To find the channel. It's harder to find them or for them to find you, but and I mean, you can experience that as well,
literally.
right?
Yeah, and I'll say that's why, it's interesting because you don't hear a lot of people talk about that. Like you said, YouTube in itself is an algorithm. It tries to get certain things, and so whatever people want to see and watch is what people try to create around, versus like if you really want to do the right thing. I just say this all the time. I think if you do the right thing, I think you're blessed long term. Even if the shortcuts are easy, even if it's so much easier to go this one way, if you keep trying to do it the right way, you will outlast the people who seem to be getting it all up front. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's like, I think it's just you try to keep doing the right things, but it's hard because that's how it's made to be. It's all about a trend, and like what trends is what people, the shock value. And so like you said, you're like in this place where that is the winning. It's like if you're playing sports, it's like people are all taking stuff. It's hard to not ever want to take stuff too, because it's like that's what people do. That's how it works. And so I think that's why I have so much respect for you. I think that, like I said, you could have easily talked about my family as much as you wanted to. And I'm not saying it would have been wrong if you did. I'm just saying that's the point. Like the fact that you feel that way separates you from pretty much most people, because they just, the second it's on there, it's the first thing they put on their page, just shocked face, can't believe it, this, and just keep riding that wave as long as you can. And so it is hard. It's hard to do that when it comes to doing YouTube stuff.
Right. Yeah, 100%. It is. But I like that made me feel better, Colby, about just, in the long, I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I am who I am. It's already what I'm going to do anyway. So finding ways of just like keeping that going. Do you think that Lori knows about your project?
Probably. I know she's got goons somewhere in the world. There's people, and I've said this about other people, like it's interesting to find this out, but there's people who really like call up, like people in jail and like befriend them and really like ride for them. Like, I don't know what that is, but like they really believe them or they like them or whatever the case is. But there's like a lot of oddballs that will go and tell her stuff. So I know she knows stuff. It's really hard to believe she doesn't.
Right.
I know she's probably knows about this. She wants to talk to me. Like that's her thing. She wants to have a relationship. And I have not even given her the door, because for me personally, like I don't even want to know if you're trying to contact me. I don't want to, like, she doesn't have my number. She has no way to connect to me at all. And so I've kept that. I just, like in a sense, she's, I guess, like she's passed away in my mind. But I know she's like being told stuff, and that's why I feel pretty cautious just about my kids on like online in general. But like even with her, like I don't want her having, lines into my life, which is why I don't talk to her. I don't want her knowing anything. There's no reason to have a relationship with her. Like there's just, and people have asked that, like, how do you do that with your mom? Like, you don't understand when someone like peels their mask off, like it doesn't matter if they're your mom, whoever, once you see evil in that way, I don't know, it will change your perspective forever. And I finally got to the point where I didn't feel like I had to save her. That was the worst part. The whole time I thought I have to like talk to her because I think she's only going to listen if I tell her that she's in the wrong. When I told her, she laughed in my damn face. So I was like, fuck you. Like, I'm never going to try to ever say, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get all in your feelings. But then when I interviewed her years later, I'm like, here's the platform. Like, you and I talking, just tell me whatever. And she chose to lie and blame my sister for everything, basically, right? Because Tylee brought the bat out, started the fight. Tylee killed JJ. Tylee killed herself. So Lori's innocent. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding. I didn't even watch the trials yet. But that's the story that you're going to tell me when you have the platform. Like, here's an open mic. Just tell me what happened. That's all I asked you. And that's out of your mouth. So that for me just cut everything even remotely that was possible. Like, you know, it's not my job to save you. It's not my job to try to figure it. Like, none of this has anything to do with me. You've done what you're going to do what you want to do, and nothing I say is going to change your mind. Nothing I do is going to change anything about this. So I finally let her go, and that was the best thing that happened. Honestly, as hard as that was,
right? Like, just like a weight lifted, right? Exactly. That you probably didn't even realize was there.
For sure. But she knows.
Because you've said that you were always kind of like that constant, like, male, right? Like, it was like the two of you for so long, and you probably had this sense of like taking care of her your whole life.
Yeah. And you can't handle that when you're 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Like, but that's how I knew from an early point that she leaned on me. So I inherently built myself to be someone who could take the weight of something, even if I couldn't handle it. I learned how to be that. And so we had a very not healthy relationship in that way, you know? And so I think that is why, though, I felt so responsible, because I was like, I have to, like, when this first happened, I felt like I had to apologize for her actions. Almost like when your kid breaks someone's vase or something, like you feel like it's your fault because you weren't watching them. And I'm like, this is not for me. I didn't do anything wrong. So I had to get there, though. It took a long time. Like, people don't understand how much I blame myself for not being there for my siblings, or like somehow, how did I not notice Lori was going down the rabbit hole? It's because I didn't know any of this stuff until the trials. Like, I had no idea. So it's like, I learned through therapy and time to just stop playing that role and take responsibility for her, which is crazy. Like, she's not my child, and it's not my fault, but it took such a long time to get there. Like, I can't even tell you, it was torture. I was like, this is my fault. I ruined my mom's life that way. So then she went and killed everybody, because like, you go through everything you could have done different, and you play the what if game. Yeah, it's hard. It sucks.
What are your boundaries like with people now in your life?
Number one is my kids. Like, I always have said, I'm going to put my kids first. Number one. Number two, I'm fine with telling someone if they ask something I think is out of pocket. I will now actually say, hey, I don't want to talk about that, which I never had that. Like, I was such a people pleaser. So I felt like I had to answer questions, or like, you know, just things like that. And then, you know, I feel like I've told people I've been really open with my life, but that doesn't mean everything I go through is going to be put on the internet. Like, just because I'm explaining what I've learned, I only do it for, I feel like, educational purposes and to be helpful. But everything I'm going through in life is not going to be regurgitated online. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe there's been a misunderstanding of like, you know, you're so open, and it's like, yes, of course I am, but that doesn't mean that I don't protect other people. Like, if other people involved, I'm not going to jump online and start just going into it. Like, even when I had to address, you know, an uncomfortable situation that I felt like I was being put in, I said what I needed to say without saying a bunch of names, without going into details. Like, there's a million more real context details that I knew behind the scenes. And then it kind of leaves people to, you know, I don't know, not that you need to like prove your point, but they're like, why didn't you, like, you know, tell more if there is more? It's like, because that's just not my character anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to get into drama. I'm not looking for it. And if I have to address something, it's uncomfortable, I don't want to. I wouldn't go out of my way to do it. So I think it's been kind of like this really just balance of like finding out my personal boundaries, of like people understanding, yes, I share a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you everything about everything. I think that's kind of been my newest thing, is trying to explain that to just, you know, the people around me and my community.
I love that. That's hard too, because like there's a part of just like being so appreciative and loving the people who show so much support. And I don't really like the term parasocial. I know that there can be like certain people who take on that parasocial relationship and take it too far, but in my, like, I don't know, just my experience, I haven't had like too many who like really feel like I owe them something and are able to respect boundaries. But it's like, yeah, like when you're a people pleaser, it's hard to kind of find I don't know, a balance of being like, oh my God, are you gonna hate me now?
Yes.
But the people
and you
who
feel bad.
get it. Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
Of course you do.
Yeah, and like you're very open in general, and so it's not like you struggle to share, but yeah, it's hard because again, you have to be open to criticism because you are online. Right. And then some people really do just show up because they want to hate you. And so you're like, you just watch these people only come in to literally say something negative. And you're like, this is like, are you just like here, like waiting for your one chance to say something bad? Like, sure. It's interesting because like, yeah, it's on the internet. And so I just feel like the good outweighs the bad. And people are going to, I feel like for me, that my new kind of like understanding in life is like, when you're telling the truth, you just feel like, for me, I feel like once I say it, I've stopped caring if you believe me. I don't need to keep trying to prove it. Like I said what I said, and I'm putting it out there, and you're going to take it any way you want, no matter what. So that's kind of part of the documentary too. It's like, I can only tell you what I know, and that's all I can give you. But if you don't believe it, it doesn't matter if I sat there with you for 30 minutes and was like, no, this is what happened. And I'll do a lie detector test right here so you can understand that I'm being serious. Like I'm just telling you what it is. But I used to feel so defensive of like, because when you're being so attacked by like so much misconception, you can't outweigh that. Even if you tell the truth, people are going to think what they want. They're going to say what they want. So I finally accepted that. So I think a lot of that growth has helped me just like stop trying to people please.
Right.
Was really hard for me. And now I'm just more like accepting of, I guess, what life really is, which is just people are going to hate me. They're going to watch the documentary. They're going to hate it. They're going to think I lied. Like that's just what it's going to be. There's no way around it. So I finally just, I don't know, accept that all. But having boundaries with people you care is more important than like people who know you that just hate you. Like they just hate you anyway. So like,
and they're going to, they had, like you said, you could show them, like literally just like into your actual soul and like your heart, and they'll be like, nope, it's AI or whatever.
Your soul's AI. You're not real.
That's not good. I had a question though about like, would you do like, what is after maybe the documentary? Because I think that like maybe you haven't even considered the fact that when like you've been kind of like working toward this behind the scenes, maybe even subconsciously for so long, to be able to do like tell a story your way. You're going to do it once and then it's going to be done. And then what's next for Colby? Like, would you ever consider coaching people who have been in similar situations for you? Right now, I'm only asking that because I see, did you watch the Crash documentary on Netflix?
No, I have a lot of Netflix documentaries to catch up on. I need to binge because I have so much stuff I want to watch.
A bunch have come out. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, right now, Dominic Russo's sister, Christine, she's, taking to social media, started her own podcast, and she's kind of like trying to like debunk things and answer questions for people. Obviously, right now it's like one of those like trending topics. So she's getting like all sides of things. And the question that I see so many people, and it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, is you're monetizing off of this. What would you say to another family, like specifically, maybe like, let's just talk about Christine, even though you haven't seen it. What do you say? Like, what does that make you feel when people say that?
This is what I've tried to explain to people from the beginning. And like, that stuff used to kill me because I'm like, you don't understand the context behind that. You don't understand the offers I've had to make money off of this, that I have, like, not to even sound cool, but like I'm constantly having to decline things because it's so unethical. And like people understand, I think number one, let's start with the reality. Everyone else is making more money than the person who's talking about it by a big jump. These bigger companies are monetizing it. So why is it wrong for them? Not wrong for them to talk about it and monetize, but if the person involved even wants to do it, even if it's just their time, Like, that's really all it is. It's just the fact that you're putting the time in to debunk it. I don't see why it's wrong, because guess what? If you make a video right now on YouTube and you turn off monetization, but it gets a ton of views, YouTube will put ads on it regardless of you putting ads or not. And they'll be like, did you monetize this? No, but YouTube will. So that's the point. You don't understand how this works. It's two things. It's number one, your time, and it's your story. When the hell did stories start being wrong to tell? People make money off of your story, whether you ask for it or not. So that's what I say. I say it's ridiculous, because it's so sad that someone who wants to debunk or talk about their experience, people write books. Why aren't you killing people for writing books?
Right.
That's their story, right? That's monetizing your story. And they go and they make it to these charts and you praise that. But then someone actually just goes on in a different way. Like, YouTube's probably the fastest, easiest way to get out to the world, or social media.
Right.
What's wrong with somebody who knows their stuff's going to be monetized by an outside entity regardless?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, your heart. If you're only trying to make money, people will feel that. Right. They'll feel it. They'll see it. They'll smell it on you. You're just a grifting. That's what people say to me all the time. You're a grifting. You're using your dead siblings to make money. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You have no idea the type of money I've been offered to do the wrong things. I never will, because I couldn't live with myself. You don't understand how much, like, my mom killed my family for money. Do you really think that money like drives me? Absolutely not. I just do it because I know someone else is going to, and it's my time that I put in that I know is what matters. And that's what you go to work for. You're not getting paid for the work most of the time. You get paid for your damn time. Like, that's what life is. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with people going and being able to make a little bit of money off of their stories, because, like I said, whatever you put it on, they're going to monetize it, whether you put it on there or not. Right. So I don't know. People take it so wrong. Like, why can't, and again, this is no shade towards these places, why can Netflix, Dateline, ABC 2020, why the hell can they make millions of dollars? But if the person who actually wants to go around and speak at events or do these things is wrong for telling their story, where are we in life? What the hell is going on?
Right.
Like, why is that wrong? I don't never understand that. So I say, like, to answer your first question, what's next? I hope to help keep telling people's stories, not just mine. I just feel like I have to start with the first people that I feel like I've wanted to honor forever. Right. And then after that, my whole goal has always been to try to help other people do the same thing if they want to, and take the other route. And maybe I can build something that they don't have to do all the groundwork and do all the, digging tunnels part, and help them just learn how to do it for themselves. Right. Or even use, if I can create a media company or something, help them do the same thing that I did. Like, I feel like that's the number one goal I've always had. And then, there's nothing wrong with people monetizing themselves, because it's your story, and everybody else who's a YouTuber or a TikToker or a huge media company or a Netflix documentary, they all make more money you could imagine. So what are we doing? Why is it wrong for the person involved to ever make $1? I don't understand.
Right. Who like literally is there. I know that's one of the that's one of the questions that I'm always just like, do you even know what you're talking about?
No, the thing is, a lot of times when you hear people, because I wouldn't know any of this if I didn't experience it, but I was watching the Netflix documentary and I'm just rubbing my temples thinking, you don't even like have any, like, the stuff is from Reddit. Like, you don't even have the firsthand information, and they make deals in the background, or they go get, book deals, podcasts. Like, they do business stuff in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Like, most of the time when you get asked to be on stuff, there's nothing, no money involved. You just go on some show and you're just there. And they'll like fly you out or whatever, but it's not like you're paid to be on these programs. People are like, you're making so much money. Where?
Yeah.
Where is it's in their pocket, brother, not mine. I didn't come here for money. I came here because they asked me to do it, and they told me they were going to talk about my siblings, and it has nothing to do with my siblings. So I had to learn so many lessons the hard way. And you know what? Like, I don't know. That subject specifically bothers me to death, because like a lot of people are trying to do good things, like start, foundations. I've thought about doing that a lot. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I feel like for me, it's tell their story first.
Yeah.
And then find the right people to help me do what I don't know how to do for an organization.
Yes.
But I also I'm not going to try to put too much on my plate that I know I can't sustain, because that's just wrong. That's just life for me. I'm not going to do too much because it's wrong for me to start a foundation and not be able to sustain it. And that's supposed to be helping more people, you know? So I'm like eat one thing at a time off the plate rather than try to eat everything. So,
yeah. Right. Okay, I love it. I'm excited about I'm excited about all of the things, all of the. That's what I wanted. I'm like, what's going to be after? And I'm like, I'm glad you're on the same page that I am for your life, Colby.
Yes.
I want you to do all of those things. Yeah. I think who better? Who better?
I've really tried to go back to the podcast. It's my number one passion. I love my channel. I love streaming, but like having conversations, even this conversation, it's like the highlight of my life because it's so nice to just talk to someone and just connect and just go back and forth and be open. And I think that's what I want to do for other people, but I've always wanted to take it a little further. And, you know, when it comes to like even a mini doc or doing documentaries for someone else, you give them a chance to tell a story no one else got to. So they really get to be involved in the creative process. So that's the goal. That's the goal for what's next after.
I love you. Everybody say bye to Sienna. I will. Thank you. Now I'm on it. No, everybody was so nice. Like I'm like seeing so many of like your peeps in here, and I'm like, there's really nothing that I had to be scared about. Don't I always say this? I'm like, oh, I'm so scared.
But by the way, you're such a natural. You always tell me you're like, I'm so scared to do live. I'm like, you're so good at it. It's so easy for you. Like, you have no idea. You could do this if you wanted to.
No,
you could totally stream. You could stream.
I would stream to play. Okay, I would stream to play like Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Hell yeah, do it.
Can you do that on YouTube though?
Yes, 100%. You can? I do it on my other channel. Yeah, you can stream your games.
What do you game?
Oh, you don't even want to know. I do a lot. I do. I'm very story driven. So that's part of my life. So
is that like Zelda? Like, is that like a story?
I want to play Zelda. I've never played it. Okay. I've played, let me think of the games I would play off the bat. I love, I've usually played sports games, but if I play like story games, I've played a lot of stuff. I've played Skyrim, Halo. What else have I played?
What is the one all the kids play? Fortnite. Is that a story?
No, that's just that's to show up, shoot each other, and do a big slurp. It's very different.
Okay.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. The big slurp sounds horrible.
I missed it. What's a big slurp?
Big slurp's like their health, but it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible because people say like, you go get your big slurp. I'm like, yeah, let's stop it.
No, see, I don't know if I would be good with gaming. I'd be like, pardon you.
I'm not a good online gamer. I like to play by myself because if I go play against other competition, like especially in like, you know, the first person shooter or something, I get wrecked. You just like, I just forget it. Just forget it. Just let it go. I'll just not play this. But I think you would be so fun to watch stream too. Even if you were, I don't care what you're doing. You could just game. You could do whatever you like to do because you're so easy to talk to, and you're so like, I feel like people will just enjoy you doing whatever you do in life. Like you could just vlog yourself. People would be like, this is fun to watch.
No, it'd just be a shit.
Come on, I'm telling you. I don't have to.
I wouldn't need a behind the scenes of me trying to get the microphone.
You should see me though. I'm the same way. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Okay, it did make me feel better when you said you did an entire interview and there was no audio.
There was no audio. You want me to drop who I interviewed for 2.5 hours and did not have audio for?
Yeah.
Was Kay Woodcock. Whole interview. Emotional, tears, everything. Not a word was recorded.
Colby.
And she was here. She doesn't live in Arizona.
Right.
And the fact we sat down right after the trials, we were both just raw emotional. It was one of the best conversations she and I'd ever had. And I got home and went to go like edit through it. And I don't ever edit it. I just like, you know, you get it ready to actually be posted. And I looked up everything. Why could this be happening? This and that, whatever reason, my laptop and mics just didn't feed through. So I've learned the hard way, like how to lose entire interviews that were super important. And I felt like I had to text her and be like, yeah, it has no audio. And she's like, I'm so sorry. But she's like, you got like, I was like, I literally had like tears swelling. I'm like, I can't believe because you can't really, not that you can't redo it, but you can't recreate stuff like that.
No,
like
of
you
course.
just, it's
that's
very
real.
authentic. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, trust me, I have effed up badly. You can ask I still have stuff happen. They're like, there's no audio, Colby, no audio for 2 minutes. I'm just talking like this, going off on a tangent. And they're like, no audio, didn't hear what you did. I'll do like music intros. They have no idea. I'm like, yeah, I'm not good at this.
You're like, look at that. It's fine. That was me. I was like, and Colby's literally, he's in the microphone. I couldn't hear anything. Can you see the chat on your end?
I can see it. Yes,
okay, because I feel like I have just only seen like a couple of things. Okay. I don't know. Sienna said everybody was just so great. Maybe if you had a question that we did not see, re-ask it.
Yes, if you have a question, ask it. But I just want to say, like, to everybody, and I guess Sherilyn as well, because I've already told you, but I'm just like super grateful to even be able to talk to you. Like, you've been such an amazing friend, and I don't know, I'll never be able to like thank you for just how much you've been willing to help. And like, especially in this, like this means the world to me. And for you to even take your time to do this and go live, which I know is not your favorite thing ever, but I really just want to say, so everybody understands how much I appreciate you doing this and just talking to you in general.
Of course. There's only 2 people I go live for in my life, and that is you and Gavin G Money, Gavin Fish. Have you guys ever talked?
I have a lot of people to connect with. That's why I wanted to come back to CrimeCon, because it was so great to just meet people in general. And then you can kind of get a feel of like relationships and whatever outside of everything. But you know, I mean, I wanted to come this year, but it just didn't really work out. I wasn't asked to do like a panel, which wasn't the qualifying factor, but I just didn't know what the plan was for it. And so I was like, it was just way too late. And then I ended up moving right at like, while you guys were at CrimeCon, I was literally packing and moving the house. So it probably would have went to hell if I tried to go. Like, it would have not worked out. So maybe it just wasn't for this year, but there's always more time. There's always more time.
There is. And Orlando is next year. So.
Oh, I have to go to Orlando.
I'm like,
Disney World right there.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, okay, well, I guess Disney World is it. Okay. Oh my God. I love a lot of more CrimeCon. Hi, Lori. Lori, I freaking adore you. Lori's a CrimeConner. Lori, did you meet Colby in Denver? We do another live with Sherilyn when your documentary will be out. You guys are so good together. Colby doesn't know this, but I've like already invited myself to just like be behind the scenes and just like stalk
100%.
the filming. So I'm just planning on being at the documentary.
You're going to be very involved. Very involved.
I've just invited myself. Nicole. Oh, it's Sippendale from the start. There's some of my people in here.
There you go. There you go. See?
Oh my God. Oh yeah, see, I had a podcast with Gavin. Murder Between Friends. G Money's the best, but he's a busy guy. He's like what does he do professionally? But I think he's YouTubing now, but he's like a reporter as well.
That's a lot of work.
He would just like be like on the. What's the question?
Okay, the question is, what's CrimeCon like as a person close to a story?
Oh, that's you.
I will answer that just by saying it's interesting. Like I said, I had a completely different view of what I thought it would be, but it was so much more love and like so much more inviting, and like you just feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I had such a negative connotation of what I thought it would be, to be honest with you. Like I was like, this is just everybody like focused on the murders. I thought everybody was going to try to ask about, you know, Lori and Chad and Alex. So I was like, just kind of bracing myself for it. I felt obviously more comfortable with Ray and having someone that, you know, you have a relationship with outside of everything with, and us doing it together, because we both are like pretty open, but we're also like still protective, I guess, of people we like care about and love in the background. And then ourselves, like we don't want to answer every question, but I don't know. It was so much like, it was a 180 of what I expected in a good way. So I can honestly say I enjoyed it, even though it's always ups and downs talking about this stuff. It's emotional, but I really enjoyed it. So it made me want to come be a part of it in some capacity on a regular, because it's just fun to meet people and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even met Sherilyn had I not gone. So like it has a lot of good, there's a lot of good things that are there. So I enjoyed it.
And like you said too, like with like now the Petitos have their own booth and talk about like the Gabby Petito Foundation and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Going up to victims' families because I'm crying. I know. Yeah. Lori says.
But it's like, I don't know. I met so many good people. It was so inviting. And like I said, when we had that little middle area, I feel like that was the best thing that happened of all of the event, because no one really was in the event. Like I met people in the event, but we were all sitting there. That's when I really like just talked and hung out with people.
Yeah, so that was the best. And it was so funny because it was like, you're kind of like, not like on, but like, when you're in the, the venue.
Right.
It's like,
you want to know what the funniest part of that is that, I'm not really like the biggest drinker. Okay. But Ray had his drink and I asked him, I said, bro, I want to try yours. And I don't know if I'm supposed to drink with my meningitis or whatever. I was like, I don't give a frick. Okay, I'm going to try it. So I try his. I'm like, oh, it's all good. It's good. Like, I like it. But then people were so sweet. They were wanting to send drinks and send stuff over. But I was like halfway through one and I was pretty gone.
You were lit.
And I'm no, seriously, because it's been so long since I've had anything to drink. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm like, all right, this is I'm feeling this. And then another one came over and I turned around, someone else sent another one. I was like, Ray, do you want to share? Because I can't drink another. So I drank the rest of that one. And the next one I tried to get through halfway through. And I was like, I am feeling this.
What was the drink? What's Ray's drink of choice?
He's a whiskey with, I want to say, a splash of Diet Coke with rocks is his thing.
Oh,
whiskey's harsh, and for me, I'm not a drinker.
I love whiskey. I love peated whiskey. So if it tastes like a campfire,
yes.
Oh my God, like that is heaven.
You're gonna make fun of me because I like the fruities. I don't like to taste it. So if you give me a daiquiri, I'm like, this is great. I can drink this all day. I have had my experiences with drinking. I've never found something that I've really enjoyed besides certain wines. I'm cool with, like, because for me, if it's really harsh, I don't know. And I don't know why I'm such a lightweight now. Like I shouldn't be, but I was halfway through that whiskey. I was like, I feel this motherfucker coming on. Like, this is crazy. So I was scared to keep drinking. So I'm like, I'm just going to be babbling. I don't want to be out of my mind out down here.
I had no idea. Maybe it wasn't the night that we talked, because that was definitely not the vibe at all.
No, I hadn't had it. It was the night before, but I was scared to get like gone because it was fast. I think the night we met was the night of the Clue Awards. Because I was in my suit. And it was late. It was late. So I think that's why it was like we talked I talked with a bunch of different people, and then we met late and we talked forever. And I was so happy that we did. Like, I'm so grateful we did that. But there was a lot going on.
It must have been, because the next day I packed up early because it was the last day.
Yeah, it was the last day. Right? Yeah, I left the next morning too, like probably, I don't know what time, but I didn't really do anything at CrimeCon. Like, besides that, I didn't really go to the panels and I wanted to.
Right.
That was like just one of the things I wish I would have really taken the time to like go see other people. But one of the things that happened that I didn't know I was supposed to be a part of, because we didn't really have the conversation, but you know how they did all the victim impact statements for people who don't really get to do one. They put me in that. And there was someone I met and he's like, we're going to be on a panel later. And I'm like, I'm on a panel with Ray and Nate. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, I had no idea. People kept asking me and I felt so bad because I genuinely didn't know what they were talking about. Like, they were at a panel. I was like, do you mean?
So they tossed you, like, was it
So
another thing like you did with Ray and Nate?
No, it was like, that's the panel they're talking about, which is where you give an impact statement, like, but for everybody. Like, I don't know, like, it's just a place for people to give one. They've never got to do one or something like that. And I had just done a video, which was so crazy. I did a video, I think a day and a half before Lori was extradited for the rest of time. I had no idea she was going to be extradited. So I kind of did a goodbye video to her for myself. And I knew that it'd be good for other people to kind of see, like, you don't have to say it to the person to get it out. Like, you just do it. Like, you just close the book for yourself. And then she was extradited. So I think she might have even had time to see it, because I know she was allowed to have more access back then. And she was like meeting with people. And then she got extradited like a day and a half later. But I think because I'd done that, they thought I wanted to like also share what I said at CrimeCon, but I was not aware of that. So I was like, people are like, I can't wait to see you later today. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
oh my gosh,
where am I supposed to be?
My stomach would have fell out of my butt. Like, I would have been like,
where do I put my hands? I don't understand where I'm supposed to be. Like, what time, what panel are we talking about? I'm like, I have one panel that I know I'm doing. I have no idea.
And had you done it already?
No.
How many people were in that room? I didn't get to see it.
It was that room where the Clue Awards were, and it was to the fullness. So I didn't know at first, but when the lights came on, I was like, I'm glad I only saw the first like 15 rows. Not that it would have made that much of a difference for me. I don't know how to explain it, but if you can talk in front of like 3 people, I think you can talk in front of 100,000 people.
No.
I don't know why. Well, when I did Dateline, in Dateline, it was so much brighter. And you were on a stage, but it's like one of those half auditoriums where there's 2 decks and it's like a half circle, and then you're on the stage, and I could see everybody. And so I think, I don't know, once you can kind of talk to one person in the audience, I think you're just good to talk to as many people are out there. I don't know. It doesn't make a difference to me, but it was a huge room, like full. And so I was like surprised when the lights came on. I was like, that's not what I knew. I didn't know it went that far back, like from the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. The only ones I've been, I usually only get to see one a year. And then by the time I can make it over to wherever it is, I'm in like the back row, and like that's intimidating for me just to like imagine what that would have been like.
I looked for your table that next day forever, and I could not find you.
I think I took it down already.
Oh, maybe you were gone. I went that Sunday morning.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh no,
so maybe it was Sunday morning early, maybe around 9 or 10. I came down to the creators row. So you might have been gone. But
no,
I literally still. Yeah, I couldn't find you. I was like, I really want to find her so I can talk to her again, and I couldn't find you anywhere. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know where people are, because it's a big room full of people too. So I just kept like, I was so creepy though. I'm like walking around like a swivel. I'm like looking at everybody's table. I'm like eyeing everyone. I'm like, is that her? No, it's not her.
I didn't even have that. To be fair, I didn't have like proper signage that year, so it would have been harder to find me. Kate, Colby, you have to tell me. I don't know this meningitis story, but somebody said Christina says meningitis menace was lit. Yes. What is the story?
Okay, so the reason I had a TIA stroke around the time that it was literally right when we were supposed to do impact statements for Lori's trials for Charles and Brandon. So that was supposed to be like the end of it all, right? That was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be the last time it was ever going to happen. So I went for a run, and then like literally the next day, or I think that night, I had like a TIA stroke, which is basically a mini stroke, but you don't have like the long-term effects as far as like there's damage that happens if you don't have blood for a long time go to one side. So I still have a lot of issues from it, but I don't have like permanent medical damage, is what they say, like nerve damage, or like you can still use your hands, stuff like that. So after that happened though, because I have dark humor, I started calling myself the meningitis menace, because I have meningitis, and it's fungal meningitis. So it's like never going to go away. And so I just embraced it. And so because I say that, everybody calls me either the meningitis menace or whatever nickname that I've done. But that was the funny thing. I didn't know if I was supposed to, because I didn't know if I could fly. So I drove.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh. That was the worst thing ever.
What? How long was that?
So it's supposed to be 12 hours, which is not that bad. I've been on really long trips, but I had to get a Turo the night of that. I was supposed to leave the next morning at 4 a.m. So I got a Tesla. That was the only car that had enough mileage that, like with Turos, you only have like some people say 800 miles and then you pay like $1 per mile after that. So I had to get something with the most amount. And it's a long mileage back and forth. I knew it was going to almost touch the entire thing. So long story short, that was the only car available on that short notice. The guy dropped it off. I've never driven a Tesla. So like the key is a freaking credit card, right? And I'm like, I don't understand how to use it. So I'm like learning as we go. So I did not understand how long it took to charge it. So I stopped every time. I stopped 8 times to charge it. And it took me like 17 hours to get to Denver because I had to stop and charge the car. And it's like, oh, you could make it to this next station, but you'll have 1%. I'm like, what if I don't see it and the car dies? So I like kept going to the closer one. And it just, I mean, I saw the whole world between Arizona to Colorado. I got a view of everything. I had to stop and wait for it to charge. It was rough. It was rough. So it took a long time to get there that day.
How long does it take to charge? Because I've only been in one once, and somebody just said I don't even know how to open the door of a Tesla. And same, it's like so embarrassing. I'll just like sit there and be like, I don't know what to do. But
I didn't know what to do.
Charge?
I couldn't get in. So there's this like basically the way that you're made to drive as well is supposed to basically be stationed to where you charge. So the route you take has to go to the next station. So that's kind of how you're laid out when you see your route to Denver. And so everywhere I went, it had to take me straight to one of those stations. So when you get there, a full charge is like 30 minutes, even on the fast ones. And I was only doing the superchargers, but to get to a certain point, it's like, oh, you're good. You have 50%. But if you leave right now, you'll have 1 or 2% by the time you get to the next station. I'm like, what if it's one red light a day? I'm not doing 1 or 2%. I've never been in this car. Yeah. But I will say it's like a freaking spaceship. I was flying. I was like, I got to slow down because I was just going and you don't even recognize how fast you're going until you like pick it up. But I loved it as a car. I'd have it for like normal use, but road trip was the worst experience of my life, like 30 minutes a piece. So it just added hours. And so I left at 3:30 in the morning from Phoenix and I got to Denver at 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock.
And then just went straight into it?
And then woke up the next morning and did the panel. I was so tired. I was burnt. And I know, and Ray got there earlier. They flew in and they're like hanging out. And he's like, they're down in that common area and people see me. And I know I'm like the most just eyes gone. He's like, you want to drink? I'm like, hell no, I don't want to drink. I won't make it tomorrow. Like I won't be able to get up and do the panel tomorrow. So yeah,
You're
that
like,
was an ordeal. kind of knocked me out. So I don't have to go through this anymore.
Okay. So I was going to ask, so you would have a Tesla?
I'd have a Tesla for sure.
You would? Okay.
I got to give you credit. I mean, you wouldn't have to charge it more than like maybe once a week. And that's heavy driving. So I would definitely do it for just the convenience of like, if you go home and charge it or you go to a station, it'd be so much less than you'd probably need to get gas. So like if I were just
when you're like doing the price comparison, was it? Yeah, it was good?
It was like maybe 10 or 13 bucks per fill up. And I had to do it a lot. But even then, if you, like I said, if you're just around, you get like 450 miles until you have to charge it. So that plus me just driving around as much as I do, I wouldn't have to charge it more than maybe once a week. And it's $13. So I'm like, it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. I'm not going to lie. It changed my mind because I've never driven an electric car in my life. But, and it was
me neither
there. Like, I'm not going to lie. For me, it had tons of room. You'd have, for me though, with kids, you couldn't have the kids in the back the way I had my seat back. But if I got the bigger one.
Because how tall are you, Colby?
Everybody wants to know this question. I'm 6'3".
Oh, do you not? Okay, no, I'm like 6'4" because I'm like so tiny and like standing next to you, you got like neck pain.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think he's like 6'4" or something like that. Yeah. So you felt it was spacious. Everything's spacious for me. So
yes, it was very spacious for me, which is rare. Like most cars you get in for me, like my legs most of the time are just either way too close, like in, or I have to do the shoulder thing, or I'm like just boxed in. So I felt like I was good. And so yeah, it was something. But then everybody from CrimeCon didn't know I was tall because I sit down all the time. So like, are you tall or is everyone short? I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. I guess I'm tall and people are shorter than I am. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a giant, but
you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
You are a giant, Colby.
I guess I felt not at CrimeCon. I did feel like a giant. I was like, I feel horrible because everybody's hugging me with the sweaty armpits. I'm like, please don't hug me. I feel horrible. I shouldn't have ever hugged you.
Good for you for working out, though.
Yeah, thank you. I have to. It's such a mental thing for me. Like,
yeah,
I work out at least 4 or 5 times a week just because I feel like I have to, and then
what's the routine? Do you do like you go in one day like arms, one day legs? What is it?
So if you do, I do a little bit of everything depending on how many days. So if I work out 4 times, then I'll just do like combined stuff. So like shoulders, chest, stuff like that. And then I always try to incorporate cardio because I have to force myself because I hate doing like stair stepper and stuff. But after I was really like scared after the stroke, like to ever work out again. So I had to work my way all the way back to even lifting. But I've been lifting for like the last 3 or 4 months really consistently. And that's one of the things I did my whole life. Like I used to be a trainer. So I try to help people like any way that I can. But you just kind of group in certain body parts and you try to eat leaner, which is hard for me. I'm an eater. Like you can't stop me from eating everything. So that's my biggest like problem I have. But
is that the motivation? Are you like, then I can have a snack?
I don't even give it doesn't matter. I just eat the snack anyway and have to deal with the consequences.
Is it sweet? Is it sweet or salty?
Oh, it's both. Sweets are really my thing though. Like I really could eat crap all the time because I just have such a desire for it. So it's really hard for me. Like I could work out and be super disciplined and then for 1 week eat like crap and look like I haven't lifted a weight. This is how my body is. So I have to work extra hard to like even feel like I go to the gym. For real. Yeah. I'm very quick to look big genetics in the wrong way. So
I think that's a guy thing though. I feel bad for guys. Like because I hear that often. Like that it's you guys kind of like always have to be on guard and
yes. You go to like one little vacation and it just like you're like, I don't have abs anymore. Like I literally worked for 2 years and now I don't look like I work out at all because I just binged.
But then your muscle memory is crazy.
It is. Yeah.
That's something women don't have, I feel like. It's like, okay, like maybe we can stay like a little bit. We've got a little bit more leeway, but the muscle memory for men, it's like that was like one thing like my grandma always gets on my grandpa about because he can like, you know, work out or like diet for a week and he looks like a new human. And she's like, what about me, you guys? I'm like, Grandpa, you don't even look different.
It's so crazy because like I feel like women do have it way harder than men because men can get in shape faster, but I feel like women stay in shape longer. Like I said, I think men have the both opposites. But I also feel like I will tell people they kind of think that they're past their prime. I'm like, I'm 30 now and I feel better and in like the better place than I've ever been. So I think it just your body matures and you learn like how your body responds to stuff. So you start to just do the workouts that feel good to you. And that's all I tell people, just move your body, do something and you're winning. That's it.
Because it does change. I'm learning that now because I am 40 this year. And I have a mental breakdown over it. But it's so different for me now because I used to like doing like HIIT training. And then now cardio is like not really my friend. But if I do weights, I like my body responds way better to that now.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But that means your body just responds good to that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I did my whole,
I thought that's what I was gonna do my whole life. I was gonna open a gym. Like that was my whole like trajectory in life because I was always an athlete. And then I fell in love with working out myself. And then like after I learned how to do all that stuff, I was like, I can really help people because there's so much little things you can change that change your workouts. Like literally just the way that you're lifting the weight and the angles and like the position you're in is going to change like your whole workout. And so I just like became a really tedious trainer. And then I like just slowly worked that whole way up. And then everything kind of happened. And then I was just still kind of in that industry. And I don't know, I've told you my whole life feels like it got tsunamied, and I just kind of restarted from like scratch. So I kind of gave up on it, only in the sense that I started like growing a family and having more kids. So then like you can't really afford that lifestyle anymore. So then you have to kind of figure out the other things that are happening. And then it took another turn. So it's like, it's just crazy how that whole thing happened, but that's always been a passion. So I have a whole other, it's funny. I started 2 other channels. One's a pop culture channel. It's called Alpha Mates, my workout channel. I've really been putting work into it lately because I really want people to understand the little things you do will change your workouts and you'll just feel better in general. You won't hurt yourself as much. Like, you don't even need a trainer to really watch every move you make as long as you understand how this is supposed to work.
Right. Why didn't I know that? Okay, we talked about this, Colby. You need to do better marketing for yourself.
I'm the worst. I don't know how to announce a thing. You understand? Like, this is the first time we're really talking about the documentary because I feel like I'm so bad at just communicating what I'm doing. I'm not good at it. I feel like I'm not good at that part. So
I do find also it's harder to do it for yourself, right? Like to kind of put yourself out there and
for sure
and talk about it. It's like much easier. Like I also like enjoy like helping other people more than I ever would like myself. And I feel like you're the same. So I didn't even know about these channels. So now I will go follow all of those.
Yeah. I try to separate, like, you know, when you're talking about really hard stuff, I was like, there's no way you can talk about some of these hardest things in life, like crime and like mental health and all these other things, and then post like a workout video at the same time. Like that just doesn't that doesn't work together. Like it almost feels like tone deaf. And so I felt like I just had to kind of say, hey, if you want this stuff, it's over here, you know, and we'll talk about it. But like fitness to me is huge. That channel is supposed to be more like overall wellness channel. Cause like I'm finally kind of getting myself back to that point where even with like all the health issues now, I'm like learning how to finally do what I need to do to be healthy in general. And then also, you know, get back into the shape I want to. So you can do it as long as you know what you're doing.
Right. So and so much of it is diet. I mean, I know that like some people are like, oh, it's like a cliche. Like, no, like you can, I'm not like saying like don't go to a doctor, but a lot of like healing can be done also through
100%.
And I love medication, so that's not what that.
No, your diet's so important. It will outpace you by a mile every time if you're eating really badly and working out. Like you'll never see a win. Like you're fighting against yourself, and your diet is so much more important than you think. And so people get really frustrated because they're working out really hard for the first time, but like it's been 6 months and they're in this same place. So it's like, if you just lower your calories by a small amount, you'll start to get there. I tell people take baby steps. Like some people go too far too fast.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to stop eating and eat salads. I'm like, no, don't stop. Like, please slow down. Your body needs other stuff too. Like, let's just slowly cut things back a little bit at a time because it's a process.
And it's not sustainable, right? And I think that that's when people, what I know that this can kind of be taboo because, well, actually, I don't know if it's in the United States. Is it legal? What do you think of peptides? I know this is like the thing right now.
Yeah. So I know people are doing the GLP-1s and peptides and stuff. The problem I have with any fast anything is the fact that it takes a long time to get in shape. So even if you lose weight and that's healthier for you, I don't know what it's doing to your body, like overall health wise. And so I just try to encourage people to just strap in for like a lifestyle kind of thing and just don't try to do something like a perfect example. I've always known like what bodybuilders do and like how dangerous it is for them. And like, sometimes they're on the edge of their life. Like they go to those shows, they look great, but it's like, you don't understand. That is the peak that they're in is maybe a 3-hour window. They've stopped drinking water to be as lean as they are. They barely eat. They slowly get to a point they're dry as it gets. They're on tons of different stuff. So it's like, it's not good for you. So like, if you actually just want to be healthy and look good, you have to slow down and you have to take your time and just trust the process. And you can do a lot in 3 months and a lot more in 6 months, but we have a quick world. So people are like, I'll just take this thing and it'll help you lose weight, but then you lose your muscle. Like it's dangerous. So I really tell people, just take it slow, find something you enjoy. Like if you don't like running, don't go running. Like bike or swim or just walk, but don't do something you hate because that's not sustainable either. And then don't crash diet and do a bunch of fads and like just cut your calories and then be pissed off all day because you're so hungry. Like just eat, like choose little things differently. It's like, it's not as complicated, but it has to be a process and you can do a lot really fast. Like for me, I've lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks just by not eating as much sweets.
Really?
Yeah.
Again, it's like a guy. I'm like, oh, 8 pounds. 8 pounds on me, I'd be like.
It's like crazy because I can gain that in, like, I kid you not, probably 2 days. Just a couple sweets. I'm a sandwich away from being like out of shape. That is how dangerous the line is. It's not easy, I promise. So.
And you feel like the working out is like key to your mental health though?
I feel, it's going to sound crazy. I feel like I have to. Like I have so much more anxiety and stress. There's something about working out for me. And this is part of like actual physical, not physical therapy, but therapy in general, but being physical. Movement's really good when you have trauma. And that's why you see a lot of people are really traumatized, seem very ADHD, like they're pacing, they're always moving. But for me, it's almost like I say to people, it's like the venting on a tea kettle, like you're just kind of letting everything out. And so when I work out, I feel like I'm really evened out for the rest of the day. So I work out in the morning and it just sets me up for success for the rest of my day. Like it just helps me feel like confident. You did something important. You overcame something you might not have wanted to do. And I don't know, I feel like it's so important to my mental health just as much as it is physical. So I tell people, just move, please. You will feel better. You will feel better.
When I'm like, I've got to like practice what I preach, but because I'll say the same thing. And I'm like, for somebody who I talk about like my mental health all the time and I always feel so good. But then there's like, I don't know, the way my brain works, I'll be like, oh, like maybe I don't want to feel good today. So I'm not going to work out. And I've got to like get out.
Yeah, but you're honest. That, like, that's honest. That's how everybody feels. I tell that to people all the time. Like I preach to myself every time we talk about this stuff. It's not like I am this disciplined Navy SEAL who's got this on lock. Like I have to force myself all the time to like do a little bit better. And it's like, it's just a 1% better thing. Like just one thing you can do a day will finally become maybe the next week you've done 3 different new things and you'll see results. But nobody has the patience anymore because everything's quick. And I don't like that. It's not worth it. I promise. Like the health issues you might experience from like, even those, there's like the diuretic fat burners or people like try to take a bunch of, laxative to like, they think that's all water weight. I'm like, it's not. Like you can't poop out your weight. Like it's not, that's just your food. Like you know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to help people.
Cleanser.
A cleanse, that's not bad. You can do a little cleanse. Don't think though that's long-term success, so it's hard. I used to always have to like have reality conversations with my clients. I'm like, we really got to slow down and tell you this is going to take a year to get exactly where you really want to be healthily without crash dieting, without all this stuff. It takes a long time, but you can do it and it's worth it.
What do you do to check on people? How do you hold them accountable if you're not like, or were you always doing it like in person?
Well, back then I worked at the gym, so it was in person. But when I've done anybody online, it is simple. Like we will go through a conversation and like I expect their honesty because we will see that there's a reason why it's not working. So it's better for us to have an honest back and forth rather than like in 8 weeks, you feel like crap. You haven't gotten anywhere. It's because we haven't really been following it. So I don't ever make someone feel bad. I've seen trainers who are like, you're the one that promised you'd do this and you didn't do it. So whose fault is it? It's like, that's not going to make anybody feel better.
No.
You know what I mean? So I just try to have people be like, if you want it, you want it. And if you need help, then I'm here to motivate you, but you have to have a desire to do it yourself. That's it.
100% too. Yeah, exactly. It's not, and some people do thrive with just kind of being bullied into doing
some people,
something.
Maybe some people, that's why everybody has different tactics. Some people want to be driven hard, but driving hard for me isn't ever like critical or like that kind of thing. It's just more like you said you wanted it to be a harder workout. Like, we're going to make it harder, but I know you can do it. So you try to keep people motivated. I don't think you need to, I don't know who wants to just be screamed at. I don't. I'm not Jill Sargent. Like, you idiot, you can't do it. It's like, no, that's not for me. I'm just going to want to fight. No, thank you.
I'll just want to fight you. That's like exactly. Literally like, oh my God, my youngest daughter, she's a jujitsu dropout. She just dropped out last Wednesday. She's only 5. But she didn't she wants to like hit and take people down, but you can't do it to her.
Okay. Yeah. She's like, no, thank you.
I just want to God. Like she like came back from water break and she's like, I'm not going back there. I don't like that kid. I'm like, well, that's not, yes, Nicole, it's Clout Baby. Clout Baby is Clout toddler, not toddler. She's 5 now. And she is, oh my gosh. Yeah. So she did that 2 weeks in a row and then was upset that she had a different coach and that coach was a little bit more strict. She's like, I don't like her. I want that one. I'm like, well, you don't get to decide who coaches you, girl.
Yeah.
But I get it. If somebody bullies me, then I'm over it.
I get it. Me too. I totally get it. I never really responded to like negativity more than anything. Just it's like when you learn a lesson, you can do better. But I get it. Like circumstantially, there's coaches that really ruin my experiences in like football and stuff. Where you're like, you just are here because you like yelling. Like you don't even have anything to say. You're not even a coach. You just are.
You don't even know what to do. Like, you don't even know the game.
You got hired to scream at us. Like you don't even have a reason. You're just pissed.
I think so I knew that you played football. I don't know where I would have known that. Maybe you said that, but I think I also heard that. Was that something that you like bonded with Charles over?
Yeah. So we loved football. He was a baseball player and I was so he was a college baseball player. He almost made it to whatever the really, I don't know if it's AAA, but he was a really good baseball player. So he was like going to the lower league of like the MLB farm system.
Right.
And he tore his knee out, like that classic story. Like if I would have not torn my knee, I would have been a star, but he actually like tore his knee out bad. So he had to get it replaced later. And then I was a football player because I grew up in Texas and that's like the thing you do, you know what I mean? But I was a big kid. So I was a lineman. And then all of a sudden I went from being like the big chunky kid to the really tall, skinny, fast kid. So like my position changed, but then I fell in love with basketball and I really wish I would have stuck with football because I probably would have been 10 times better at football, but I just became a hooper and I just felt I was like, I have to do this. It was like my dream. And like everybody else is so much bigger. So I played in college. I was definitely one of the shortest at my position, but I probably would have went a lot further in football, but Charles, I think Charles was just kind of supportive of whatever I was into. He just wasn't a basketball lover and I wasn't a baseball lover. So that was like, we both bonded over football really well. And he was a Cowboys guy. So he loved the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
And I always used to make fun of him for that.
What's your team?
Well, I grew up liking the Indianapolis Colts because I was more of a player follower. So I followed like Peyton Manning. And then when I moved to Kansas, before Kansas City was really good, I promise you I'm not a trend. Okay. I got there in 2015 and I was like, this team's really fun to watch. And I wanted to be a tight end like Travis Kelce. That was the position that I was playing before I actually stopped playing football. So I was like, I liked watching someone who's that fast and good at that position. So I started watching that and I've just been riding with them. They're not even that good anymore, but everybody's like, you're such a bandwagon. I'm like, no, I'm not. I promise, bro.
Like,
I went to college in Kansas.
Credentials.
Yes. I'm not like
with Travis.
Yes.
So you
not a lifetime.
You didn't start going when Taylor put him on the map.
No,
is what you're saying.
No.
That was so funny, Trend. That's how I learned about Travis.
So I'm saying because they got together and it just like his stock just went through the roof. He was in movies. We're turning on movies. I'm like, you're in this movie now? Like, what is happening? So he got a whole nother world of that. But yeah, I knew who he was as a football player. And like we have very similar like body types and stuff too. So I was like, I always still wanted to play football. Like I was still an idea. Like I thought I was going to do that at some level professionally or play basketball. Those are my two goals. So I told you I was always trying to be an athlete. And then when everything kind of happened, I just feel like I remember, this is kind of random, but like on my 27th birthday, I just remember like realizing that I felt like I just I shouldn't be 27. I should be like 23. Like that is how that time of like, I just didn't feel like I had my 20s at all. And
Right.
so I can't blame the case for like what I could have accomplished, but I was so distraught and destroyed. Like I just really missed out on the things I thought I was going to do, but then I kind of just accepted it later on. But it was crazy. Like my whole 20s was just overtaken by that. Like from 22 through this entire time till now was just absolutely wrecked. So I never tried to be an athlete after that. But
really,
yeah.
And you feel like a lot of people do say that though, if they've gone through a traumatic experience, that is like not like stunted, but like there is like this like period of time where it almost like everything kind of like stands still. And obviously like life is still going on and the time and years are going, right? But
exactly.
You're not stuck, but like it, like all of a sudden you kind of are like, oh my gosh, like, 5 years have gone by.
Yeah, you can't even comprehend time anymore. Like it just stops existing the same way. And, I just like, in your 20s, you build your life up. Like you kind of figure out who you are. You're kind of like going through your career. You're, going through your relationships. If you have kids, they're growing up. So you're kind of like learning how to be a parent. So for me, I just felt like there's so many hats I was wearing, but like I wasn't taking care of myself. Like I hadn't started therapy and it was just really heavy. So everything was just heavy. And like I just didn't really even have like the same ambition. I just felt like such a shell of myself. And like I was sad because I gained the most weight I'd ever gained like really fast. And so I knew part of it was the stress, and then part of it was the fact that I was combining mod pizza and crumble cookie every night. But that's a whole nother story. But I mean, it was so disappointing for me because I'd always prided myself on being healthy.
Right.
And I worked so hard to be like in good shape. So I never even stopped working out or anything. It's just like I got so big and I just kind of had this like quit of life almost. Like just it's hard to have any desire to do anything. And so, and then I was like, oh, you're not being, the best. You're being a great dad. You're not being a great husband. Like I think you just question everything about yourself. So then I finally just like restarted and got back on the horse. But it was like you realize later how much of your 20s, at least for me, I feel like I didn't get to experience anything other than that. And now I'm just trying to like do the best I can. But, I don't regret things like anymore. I just accept what was. But should I be on the Chiefs right now? Maybe. They might need me. Just call me up.
Let's get that's the next step. Okay.
That's the next step after the documentary.
After the doc. That's it. Okay. I have one question for you before we go.
Yes.
Give us actually no wait. I have three. Because like
three.
One of them is like, okay. I want you to share with us your favorite memories of Tylee and JJ separately. And then you can decide which one you want to do or like which order. And then I also want to know 3 random facts that you don't think anybody knows about you.
Okay. So I have a lot of really amazing memories with both of them. One of my favorite memories is when we lived in Hawaii with JJ. We lived in Princeville, which has one of the top 100 golf courses in the world. It's very pristine. It's gorgeous. And me and JJ would go out there and play together. But this kid was so fast. Like I cannot put into words how fast JJ was. So we'd be playing and then maybe I turn around and then when I tell you there's a cliff at the end of the golf course where we lived up on the top part and then the shore, but it's a drop off cliff. JJ would take off running, laughing like it was the funniest thing ever. And I would have to do a all-out football sprint and tackle to save his life on a regular basis. But because he thought it was so funny, it would make me laugh and him laugh harder because he thought it was a game, but it actually had like implications of if he goes off the edge.
You're like,
so it was like the most intense. Yeah. So we're both laughing, but at the same time, it's kind of an inappropriate place because people who live there are like very, very wealthy and they're mostly retired. And then there's just me, little shirtless kid who's the fastest kid on the planet and me chasing him. Both of us laughing and just like it's just chaos, just absolute chaos. But me and him like really bonded in Hawaii. Like with his autism, he wouldn't even like make eye contact or talk for like till he was like 3. So like we built a relationship from like the the like circumstances where he couldn't even look at me, to the point where we were finally making eye contact. Like it was a long process to get there. So I cherish that time in Hawaii, because it was so much time of just every day, building a relationship. I think some of my favorite memories ever with Tylee are, we are always game people, like board games, games in the car, stuff like that. So one of the best memories we had is we were on our way to not Arizona. We were on our way from Arizona to Disneyland, because our whole family was going. And for whatever reason, I think we played the whole 6 hours we drove, we played like questions the entire time. And when I tell you, Tylee has one of those laughs that's like infectious. Like everybody laughs when Tylee laughs. That was the type of laugh she had. And we were doing like the Friends quizzes, The Office. Like we were just asking each other stupid things and trying to throw each other off. And like, I don't know, we just had probably one of the most fun times ever in the car, just like straight almost 6 hours, just laughing and enjoying it. So that's the type of stuff that I miss, those little moments of like nothing special, just us hanging out is the stuff. Yeah.
Which is so crazy, because that's a lot of what a lot of people say when they lose somebody really close to them is you never know what, like you're gonna, like when people are like, oh, like what do you want to be remembered by, or like what, maybe you have an idea of a moment that somebody could remember you by, and it's usually like something like that, right? Like, do you remember that car ride? And that's like something that you hold on to, right? Which is really cool, because it is like those moments.
It's little moments. Like I'll drive by places that are like an ice cream thing, and you just have this flash of like something we did that's so simple, so easy, like nothing, not like the big trips or like my wedding or this or that's, like it's that kind of stuff. It's just so crazy that you would never think that those little moments would be so important to you later. Like that's what you remember the most. Yeah.
Right.
3 facts. I don't know. I am pretty an open book. I feel like a lot of people know.
I know. I was like, as I asked, I'm like, okay, you kind of, like, okay.
Let me think for 2 seconds. Okay. What have I not shared before? Most people don't know that I guess I'm somewhat tall. They did not know that. That was the number one question from CrimeCon. They're like, how tall are you? I was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like I was that tall. Like I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a pretty big nerd. I like movies and nerdy stuff, so I feel like I'm a nerd.
Okay.
And I guess the scoop is I've watched all of the Twilight movies. I've watched Sweet Home Alabama about 1,000 times in my life.
Me too.
That's actually one of my favorite movies. It's a good movie.
Yes. So
I have more knowledge. I have so much ball knowledge when it comes to chick flicks. Like I can't even tell you. That was my whole life.
Yeah.
I know, Emmy, it's hard for me to think of something that I don't know what you don't know about me.
You're a closeted Grease 1 fan. That's awesome. No, I love that I'm in on this now, you guys. I'm one of you.
Thing. This is a real, like this comes up in any chat. Oh, by the way, Grease 1's better. It's like, it has never ended. And I'm like, I'm literally editing the video so people will leave me alone, so I can at least tell you why I like it. So that's, anyway. Gosh, honestly, I feel like I have really shared almost everything about me. I don't know. I feel like I've already just given an overview of who I am. I feel like I am mostly, I feel like I'm right now just really focused on being a dad. Like I love my kids with everything I am. Like I would do anything for my kids. And I feel like I have sacrificed so much for them, not in a bad way, but like I think I just want to be the opposite of what I had. And then I try to balance life out. Like I love having fun. And I think that's why it's hard for me sometimes doing the channel, just because heavy topics don't allow this kind of thing where you can like talk about all of it in one place. You can laugh, you can cry, whatever. But I feel like maybe that's the part of me that has not been shared a lot, is just my actual personality. Like I feel like a lot of times people see me in really serious situations or really sad situations. So maybe that's like the newer thing for some people, is just how much I enjoy laughing and joking and like that kind of thing. That might be the number one thing I can think of off the top of my head. But other than that, I like being an athlete and having fun. That's all I can really think of. I'm just I don't know. I'm very chill. I don't like to do tons of stuff. I do, but I don't, if that makes sense.
Are you like a homebody?
I'm like a good mixture. I love socializing with, and I love people, but I don't go out in any real regard. Like I don't really do anything. So I guess technically, yeah, that would just be a homebody. But
are you gonna join, like, do you think one day you'll join like I don't know, like one of like a little, like when you're like a little old man, like a little old man basketball club or something like that? Is that like
I love the way you said that. Yes, a bunch of me with a bunch of guys, we're all out of shape playing ball. Yeah. I might have to. Yeah. I might have to join a little league. Yeah.
I love that on what is that movie? Is it What Men No, it's not What Men Want. Think Like a Man? Think Like a Man with Kevin Hart? That was like such a good. Yeah, their little basketball team. That's so cute. Yeah. And he is little, right? Like with his little friends on there. Oh my God, I love it. Okay. Well, I had so much fun with you always.
Yeah, I had so much fun with you too.
And I had fun with you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out.
Yes.
And I guess we'll have to, whoever donated, thank you. I'm like, we'll have to put like a list together and do a little shout out, because apologies if we missed. Well,
I have everybody on here who did, so I just want to say thank you to them too. And then they all have, like, because it's on here, I can go and directly contact them for all the tier parts. So they're all going to be able to be a part of the tiers. So that's amazing. Thank you guys so much for
thank you guys.
Carolyn, thank you. You're the best. You know I love you, so I appreciate you.
Too, Colbs. Bye, guys.
You're the best.
You are.